was still there, yeah.
Yeah, well, so who was in the hole? There was two of us,
Yeah.
So.
Well, because y'all wanted this thing dead, remember?
Oh, yeah, we did, for
is
sure.
there anything we
Still
can
do.
secure
Yeah.
the rope to at the top of this hole to where it'll hold our weight? If we went back down, we could climb back up it.
There's all sorts of rocks, yeah, and large rocks. You can easily find a part of the rock that's jetting up or anything like that to tie it onto. Absolutely, there's things.
Wait, so we've already chosen. So we're already up the rope, or
Yeah,
You guys
we're
are already up the rope.
here, but we still have like
We have
7
time.
minutes before this tunnel collapses, and that thing was wounded. Looked
6
like
seconds
it was
around,
pretty
so
good.
we might be able to get down
Yeah,
there
I mean,
and.
get a few rounds of this thing and get back.
damn, we just wasted an action climbing up this damn rope, though.
But
It didn't attack, though.
I don't want to be
Oh,
down
yeah,
there
that
without the
thing's
steam.
curled
is
up
what
in a
I'm
ball
saying.
down.
So.
Pretty
But it's
sure I'm
totally up to you
blissfully
guys.
unaware in a
Yeah,
completely different part of this thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and send my amp up to Cade and Brizzo and tell them that we're standing at the precipice. Basically, what's going on? We're standing here debating attack this
Okay.
or just to hop out of.
Okay. Brizzo, Yick, and Cade. Cade is there, but I'm just going to say he's AFK, essentially. He's standing there, but it's going to be Yick, Errol, and Brizzo, mostly. Errol has found a way to light a torch. He's picked up, some one of the like gold bones or something like that he found, wrapped some cloth around it, and has lit it for it to be a torch. Other than that, you guys are in this other part of the cave, not that far away from them actually. You're just sort of like around the corner. And Brizzo, you had noticed that the cave opens up into another area. And then Yick and Cade and Errol all catch up with you. What are you guys wanting to do?
Well, are we gonna go attack this thing, or
You don't really know about it. You know that your other three people have left to go after it. His imp has not arrived to you yet, because
okay?
while they were doing that, you guys are doing whatever it is you're doing at this point, and then whenever the imp gets to you, that's when you guys will be on the same timeline as it is. So, but right now, you guys were doing what you were doing while they were.
Can I look
doing their
around
cave.
for any other exits or signs of ways to get
No.
down there?
Down where?
Anywhere.
I'm-
Where the hell am I? Like I'm in a
Okay,
cave.
so- Yeah. Sorry. All right. So you're in a cave. Where you guys had just fought at, the cave. You guys were going down a tunnel of the cave, and then the cave sort of teed to where you could go left or right. You guys ended up going off to the right because on the base of the T, that's basically where they had the fight with the Umber Hulk, right?
Okay.
But you went up to the right. So you're on the right part of the T, and then if you go further down that way, that's where you saw that the cave opens up into another large chamber. You have not explored that chamber. You could go back the other way. I mean, you have a couple of options. Basically, the options that I see, now you can see some other options, it's up to you. But the options that I see is that you can either continue going into that chamber, you can turn around and sort of go to the left part of the T to where and explore that way, or you can go back the way that you guys have already been, where you fought the Umber Hulk at, and back to the fountain. Those, as far as I can tell, those are your three options, but you can think of something else.
I'll probably just go ahead and move back towards where the Umber Hulk was. If I
Okay,
have an option.
so- Yeah, so Yick, you catch up to her, stuff like that. You see her starting to walk back, and Kate is sort of walking next to her. They're in idle conversation about something. What color shoes they like to wear on Sundays, I don't know.
This is a very cavey cave.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
That doesn't sound like Yick.
Wasn't speaking for Yick.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So you guys meet back up. I'm going to say that you guys just sort of meet back up for a second, and then all of a sudden, as you guys are standing around, this imp creature appears near you guys, and then basically says something very fast. It's like, everybody else in the cave, why aren't you there? We're hunting the Umber Hulk. Why are you guys waiting? And then flies off.
You need to teach your imps on people skills.
I really want
Where
to
you
kick that thing down this tunnel.
Are we gonna go see what the fuss is about? Or am I going by myself?
We can go back that way, but I'm not going in that tunnel until my construct's back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. One thing that you are aware of, I'm going to tell that you don't need a knowledge check for this. These cave systems seem somewhat familiar to you. And not necessarily in the aspect that you've been here before, but at least you've heard of them. Because even though you're a half elf, because you're a half elf, you've never actually been in these cave systems before, but you know that many of the elven nations, you know that they use some sort of transport ponds or something. They somehow are able to transverse great distances very quickly between the different cities of the elves, but you've never been permitted to actually travel them because of your mixed heritage, because the elves always kept it to themselves. So you've heard of something like this, but you've never actually seen it.
That wasn't to me, right?
No, this is to Brizzo.
Okay.
Did I say Yick?
Yeah.
If I said Yick, I apologize. That's to Brizzo. My mind is a little rattled right now. I apologize. But Brizzo, so you're familiar in idea of what these are, even though you've never traveled them beforehand. And to be honest, they're probably not as nice as what you would have thought the elves would have had them as.
In shambles of.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cavey cave.
Yeah, it's a cavey cave.
Cavey cave.
Alright, so can
But
we
anyway-
see them at the mouth of this tunnel yet?
Yeah. You guys make it back out the tunnel as they're probably walking back towards where you're at. You guys are sort of walking over some of the debris that's fallen that's starting to cover over the tunnel entrance a bit. And you guys get out of the tunnel, and you can still see that, some of the ceiling from there is falling into there to continue filling it up a bit. But for the most part, it still has a couple of minutes.
So,
What are you guys wanting to do?
Well, what do y'all want
The
to
party's
do?
back together. You guys are in
All right,
the
well-
main part of the
Y'all wanna
tunnel.
jump down this hole.
This
kill
thing had
or
Okay, well then,
search?
I'm gonna go ahead. Sorry. What did you say,
Go
guy?
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I see them coming, so I'm gonna jump back in. Right? Like we still have time to get in a couple swings, right? Like, let's go. I'm ready to fight. I just don't want to fight without my crew. That's all.
I'm totally with that. Aren't we supposed to kill this thing for the person we saw in the fountain? Is that
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Pretty sure, yeah. So,
All right. Let's get this thing killed.
down there. That's before I hop back down. I'll secure some ropes. Climb back up the 20-foot shaft.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey,
Ugh.
the band's back together. Okay. So I mean, it's 6 seconds is a round, right? So like we have plenty of time if we can get down there quickly and to move, what, 20 feet down, 30 feet over, 20 feet down. Like that should take 2 rounds, which is 12 seconds, right? Like, well, if I do a double move, then it's actually only 1. So that means it only takes me 6 seconds to get down there. So I still have plenty of time, right?
You still have
Go
to kill
stab
this
this
creature, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you guys are on the clock, basically, but you do have time.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
charging. I'm all
Yeah,
in.
dude, let's go. Many hands make light work. Let's go.
All right. Okay, I'll lead the
Okay.
way. I'm going in first.
So, so
Alright,
Varys,
secure
you're
the
turning
rope,
around
let's
and
jump.
going right back down the tunnel.
I'm going. I see my
Alright.
crew's there, so I'm in.
All right, so Varys and Bastard, you guys both said you're going. Correct?
Yeah. Guys, just
Who else is
in,
going into
securing
this
a
tunnel?
rope for the? I'm securing a rope before I go down, so we can climb back up the shaft. Down after.
Yick, your still defender has come back. It's been more than a minute.
Okay.
It's back up.
Question, real quick, guys. Do you have enough rope? Because I think it was like what 30 feet to the edge of the hole, and then another 20 or 30 feet down. Do you have enough rope?
Yeah, he only needs 20-foot rope, basically, to get down the hole.
Oh, I thought he was securing it outside of the edge of the where we were in the main tunnel.
Well, I've got 50 feet of rope.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
fine.
That should be.
And I can tie another 50 feet to that to try and secure ourselves to get out of the next hole. So
The next
Good.
hole. I like how you're already anticipating there's another hole.
there is a hole. You missed out on that. So there's another like 20 or 30 feet down. We gotta go. So,
And you're just chasing it down into the dark?
bro, I'm doing it. I can see just fine. I have light. What are you talking about?
all
Like,
the-
Yeah,
yeah,
I have night vision and shit.
So, it's a bug, and you're chasing it underground. It's a.
but it's
like,
also very injured and curled up in a ball right now. Like, trying
Hiding.
like,
Yeah,
little
you're
bit.
coming with us. Your character was AFK. You didn't have a choice.
I guarantee my character
grabbed
doesn't know what the fuck he's
We were
doing.
talking about shoes. Okay.
We used you as the weight on the rope. We threw you down with the rope.
Yeah.
What happened was Bastard grabbed your hand and tried to jump in with you. That's kind of his
Yeah.
MO, you know?
MO.
100% did that. I put you in my pocket and jumped down.
Backpack. I'll just Master Blaster it the rest of the way.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I've heard confirmation from Varys and Bastard are heading in. Anybody else confirming
Nothing,
that they're
guys.
going on this hunt? Guys? Okay. Yick, Brizzo, Kay.
Give me that fucking look. No one shall to drag me down this hole. You already stabbed me.
No, I'm not. That down is terrible.
You got super stabbed.
It
For
does
3
sound
damage?
like a
Stabbed and feared. Like,
At least guard the hole.
Yeah, I mean it's an insect, so there's likely more. So like chasing it down into a hole just seems like a poor choice.
Well, if you hear us screaming, just
Run. Got it.
remember us.
Send down your dancing daggers at least, you know? Your
It,
humming daggers.
It only works in my line of sight though.
Ah, well.
I want to
Well, go to the edge.
into the room that the
I can't
Go to
see in
the
the
edge and
dark
have a
though.
look,
Kinda
man.
Look around, scope it out.
It can, but you can't. Do you want me to throw some fairy light in there so you can see?
Yeah, I got light. I already cast it. Like, I have light in almost indefinitely. Like, it's not a problem.
I'm good. I'll guard the top of the hole.
fine. I'll jump in this fucking hole with you people.
Yes!
Yeah.
What do you mean, you people?
Get in the hole,
You
Beat.
people. I just
Get
got
in the
here.
hole.
I'm supposed to go chase bugs. Jesus
Yick,
Christ.
what are you doing?
I really have no desire to go chase an insect down a hole.
Okay. You and Kate
Have you
are
not
staying.
seen Starship Troopers? Come on,
Yep.
man.
That does not
You
go
have
well for the
your
Starship
part.
Troopers.
You kind of made my point for me.
Do your part is what I'm saying.
We did our
Do
part.
your part.
We forced it back underground.
Do your part, man.
For citizenship,
But
okay?
this whole thing
What
that
is
was
this, Sparta?
happening through Cade was telling y'all to kill this creature. That will
Right.
be restorative.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
That's
if you're not down here, you don't get any of the loot. Let's go.
All right.
So,
You assume you can hide loot from a road. I'll
You're not-
pickpocket you and leave you naked on the street, homie.
No.
ooh.
That sounds like that's Bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll just
will.
bribe Basta to do it.
There's no bribing involved. I'll just do it just because you.
all right. So, the four of you are heading down this hole. Errol is staying with you, Yik. So the four of you are heading down this hole. Like I said, the cave or the entrance is starting to, it's slowly collapsing behind you, but it's fine. You guys have plenty of time. It seems like you get to where you had secured the rope, and you have 20 foot down to go. Who's going first? What's your marching order? What's happening?
Varus
Give me some
first on that.
information. All right,
Varus first.
Varus first. All right, Varus first. Okay.
Dead.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not good. That's not good.
All right. So,
You're the ones that wanted to
There-
jump down the hole.
Varus, you head down into this tunnel, and you're starting to go over to. I'm going to assume you're going to head over to the edge and look down into the nest area, right?
Yep. I mean, I already
Okay.
saw him. He was
Already
the-
calling it a nest.
Well, we knew it was. There was a bunch of dead animals and there's pretty much a bunch of bones down there. So it's
That
where
could just
he.
be a den.
Could be a
And
Den.
cemetery.
Yes.
nest, too.
A den. That's the word I
Okay.
think I used.
Okay, I was gonna say a nest is completely different than a den. A nest implies a second or maybe even a third for mating purposes.
All right. It's a den. You go and look down into its den.
There you go.
I'm assuming Bastard is next, and then Geist, and then Brizzo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you guys all get down into this area, then Varus, you're the first one over to the edge, and you look down. The first thing you notice is that the creature's moved. It's not right there. Give me a very quick perception check.
All right, I used the manual dice. 21.
16.
21.
Oh wait, just.
It's just Varus.
Yeah. Just.
Because he's the only one at the edge right now. You look down, you don't see it for just a half a second, then you look down and you can see that it has climbed up and it is getting ready to come into the tunnel that you are standing right there on, to where it is literally like its claws have just like hit the ground right there at your feet, and it is pulling itself up and over, getting ready to attack your your legs.
It's
As
our
it's
lucky
running.
day. Yeah.
Blind this thing or something.
So, roll
Get back
initiative.
on.
Okay. 13.
8.
Oh wait, everybody?
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 15.
Plus
I have a
4.
+2 to initiative, so 15 for Varus. I always forget that.
Oh wait, wait. What is my?
Said Varus is at 18,
Ooh,
15,
ooh,
15.
+5. Hold on.
13 for Geist.
No, 13
I
so 8 guys.
I have a 20. Well,
That-
not natural. It's just a 15 +5, so 20.
Brizzo's 13. Geist is an 8. Bastard is a 20. All right. So as this Umber Hulk is pulling itself up, it beat all of you on the initiative. It is going to take 2 attacks with its claws, or 1 attack with a claw and 1 attack with a bite at Varus right there as it finishes pulling itself up
You want to use
into.
the... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What
I
are
was
you
going to
doing?
use a reaction, which is my warding flare.
Okay, what's it do?
Pretty much it attacks at disadvantage.
What's the capability, or does it have to see it? Like, does
It does have to see it. It has to be blinded. So
Okay. Well, I guess yeah, and there's no save on it. It just does.
attacked by a creature is blinded within 30 feet that you can see. You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. You can use this feature
Okay.
4 times for a long rest. Is all it says.
Okay. So it's just the one attack. Whatever's the first attack is a disadvantage. Second attack's normal, right? It's not.
I don't know.
So the claw will be at disadvantage.
Okay.
It's a good thing it was at disadvantage because one of them was a nat 20 and the other one is 9, so that's a 17. So does a 17 hit you?
No, it doesn't have a 19 on
All
it.
right. All right, so then it's bite attack as the claw comes and it like just barely seems to miss you. It looked like it was going to take your head off basically, but then your light flared and just barely missed. And then the mandibles basically go to attack you. And you said a 17 misses, and then the mandibles basically just also it seems to have attacked like just right into like the left of you, barely, like it just barely missed you on its attacks.
Sweet. Yeah. Live to fight again.
Bastard, your turn. Roll me.
Fucking stabby, let's go.
Bastard, you are definitely within
Thank
30 feet of this thing. You can definitely see it. You're going to run up to attack it. Go ahead and give me a charisma saving. Give me a charisma saving throw.
God, he's through.
Yeah.
That is the. Is that also the
It's a-
D20?
That's a D20, and you add whatever your charisma saving modifier is. Charisma save modifier.
Oh, hold on. I have to enter. 12. I have a 0 saving, so I just rolled a 12.
Okay, so you go to take your steps to attack it, and then you just feel a little confused. Roll me a D8.
6.
A 6. All right. With their 6, roll me odds or evens. Odds is to run forward, evens is to run backwards.
I rolled a 6, so I run backwards? Oh, I gotta roll again.
No. I'm just so you rolled a 6 on your D8, right?
Yeah.
So basically, what that means is that you take no actions, but you use all of your movement to move in a random direction. You only have 2 random directions to go. You can either try to run by this thing out into its den, or turn around, basically try to climb the rope and run away. Those are your 2 actions, but you're confused, so you don't get a choice. So if you roll one more die, I don't care what die it is. If it's odds, you're going to run towards this thing.
I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2, so you rolled evens. So you turn, like we're getting ready to go attack it, and then you got sort of confused and muddled in the head, and then all of a sudden you feel like you hear someone calling for you behind you. So you turn and you start going back up the rope.
Wait,
Ferris.
I thought it met us in full light, didn't it? Because it
Sorry,
like
what?
when he was going. Didn't this thing meet us at the edge of the tunnel going into its den?
It did.
But you
So
came
we're
down.
still in the tunnel then, right?
Yeah, but you
You're
came down.
still in the
Oh, we went all the
tunnel,
way down. I thought we just went.
Yeah, yeah.
tunnel. Okay, never mind.
So, Ferris, it's your turn. Give me a charisma save, DC 15, or charisma save. I didn't mean to tell you that.
I can answer a work phone call. I'll be-
Well, I just have to hit this little button. Please.
Who'd we just lose? Swag.
Well,
Swag.
Swag turned his
it's a good
camera
thing I rolled 21. So
You rolled a 21. Okay. So, you're not affected by its confusing gaze. You can do your turn as you wish.
okay. As you wish. Yep. 1 second. Sorry, drop my dice. Okay. I will cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack with it.
Okay.
Does that use a spell slot?
It does.
It does. It's
Yep.
a second level spell, I think.
Cool.
Yep. Come on. 20. I rolled a 26. I doubt it blocked that. So.
Oh yeah, so
27.
you roll your
It's
roll
got a
your
reaction. It spits at you.
roll your force, or you roll your d8 and add
Yep.
your spellcasting modifier to it.
Okay. 10.
10 total.
Yep. And I
Alright.
will also. Yeah, I guess that's all I can do on this turn. I can't take an.
No,
actual-
that's a bonus action to cast that spell.
Okay, well then, so I can use my regular attack then too, right?
Yes, you can.
I will attack with my Warhammer. I'm getting 19s all night, so that's a 21.
21. That'll hit.
Yep. And the damage. I don't know which one to use.
Let's see if we can remember how to do this.
Because it's
Ooh,
versatile.
Brush.
I guess I'll use this one.
So, are you using a shield?
10-sided. I am. So then I use the
So
8,
you,
the
you
D8,
cannot,
right?
then you use because the versatile means you're using it with two hands. That's why the
Right.
damage goes up. You're using it two-handed. If you're not using it two-handed, then you roll the lesser of the two dice.
Yeah, I just don't remember
And if you're
seeing
and if you're
Okay.
using a shield, then you can't use it two-handed.
Yep.
So
it. Sweet. Okay. Well, I got a 7. So.
7 damage.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you've hit this thing twice. After you, it's Brizzo. It's your turn. What would you like to do? Actually, I need you to first roll a charisma saving throw. Yeah.
21.
Okay, you made your so you can do whatever you can do your actions as normal. Its confusing gaze does not seem to affect you this turn.
This turn.
This turn. Yeah.
Damn, I gotta do this
Uh,
shit every time.
Underway.
Fuck this thing.
Back down as
Yeah, I messed up on it the thing to where I thought that after you passed it you were immune to it again, but it never says that. It just says that yeah, every
Where's
round.
this thing to me?
It is roughly about 20 feet straight ahead of you. Sorry, it's roughly about 20 feet straight ahead of you. And the only one between you and it is Varus, who is standing right, sort of in the center of the tunnel, about
Really?
15 feet ahead of you, as this thing has.
Yeah, but it's
pulled
also
itself
gonna
up and-
throw Varus.
That's what I'm saying. If you run Varus first.
Okay. But then that puts me right next to this fucking thing. Okay. And the confusion isn't affecting me this round? Okay,
This
I
round.
want to approach and use step right in front of Varus and do
You can
Thunder
step
Wave.
beside him. Yeah, you can step beside him, and you're going to do Thunder Wave. All right. So you
Sorry.
step beside
Chat.
you step beside Varus. You're going to do Thunder Wave.
Yeah.
All right. Read your spell to me, please, so that we know
Shit.
what it is.
The creature's got to make a con save.
Con save. All right, Varus, make a con save.
Okay.
Step in front of him.
I know it. Thunder Wave, from my understanding, it's a 15-foot radius
it's
around
cube.
her, right?
Cube origin. Yeah.
Originating
Okay,
from.
so yeah, if it hits him, it'll
So,
pull him back. If
it-
it's-
Yeah, it'll throw him into the wall beside. Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18.
18. Okay. What's your save? What's the con save that it needs to make?
14.
All right. It rolled it got a modified 21, so 18 plus 3, 21. So it passed its con save, but do you still do damage?
On a failed save, it takes and is pushed 10 feet away. On a successful save, it takes half as.
Literally only heard every other word, I think. But
Yeah.
You can roll 2 of the.
we can take those.
Oh, she got 2 8s. So takes half the damage. So
So it takes 8 damage.
8 damage.
All right. So your thunder wave, you basically do your thunder wave. You also take 8 damage, Varys, from the thunder wave.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Kaboom!
And then this creature, like the shock waves hit it, and it takes a step, like sort of forward, falls onto a knee, puts its one claw on the ground, looks up at you like a little dazedly, and then it just sort of collapses, like right where its head like lands, like almost right on your foot, to where you take like a half step back, and then it just collapses right there.
Finally, this bitch is dead.
How much time did we spend killing it?
30 seconds,
Just-
if that.
yeah.
Not even that. Well, actually,
Full
technically
round,
by
I didn't get
round.
to go.
Yeah,
was one round and
technically
8
by
seconds.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 seconds in a round, but the time it took to get back, and so, but
Okay.
you guys have now killed it, or at least knocked it out, or done something to it. But it has fallen unconscious at Brizzo's
Okay.
foot.
Bye.
Geist, it is technically your turn now. Before we leave combat, would you like to do anything extra at this point?
How extra do you want to be?
Poke it. Poke it with a sharp stick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Double
my,
tap,
I'm gonna have
right?
my amp go up to it and check and see if it's dead.
Does your imp have his medicine check? Check. Yeah, have your imp roll its medicine check.
Might as well just attack it. Shit.
That's true. Yeah, but I mean, how do I do?
All right, give me a second. I'm just gonna roll it. So your imp flies up to it. You can't see what it does because it's invisible. But then you hear a thing, and it's come back in your mind saying, "Yep, looks dead."
Okay.
I'll move forward.
And then you hear a screech. Ah, maybe not. I mean, yeah, it's dead.
Hold up, wait. So, is it?
Let's check this thing for loot.
Okay.
Before we check it for loot, I want to get around it. I'm just gonna go straight into his den and check his den for loot. So I'm
Its
well,
den is 25 feet down to the den floor.
yeah.
There's rope though, right?
Make sure to tie my rope to Geist's rope, and so I have a way out.
Okay. You guys are tying ropes together. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna head down into the den. With the ropes, you're not gonna have a problem doing so. You'll be able to climb down. What are the rest of you doing that are there? Bastard, Brizzo, Geist.
I'm trying to rob some shit, so I'm going with Varys.
Okay, you climb down into the den.
Yep.
Brizzo and Geist, what are you two doing?
Searching the dead creature. Anything of interest on it?
To be honest, it's just a big bug-looking thing. If you want
if
to,
I
you
look
can
down.
give.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you want to, you can give me a survival check. Actually, survival or nature, whichever one you has your higher score.
16 the same, so.
Okay.
16.
With your 16, you think you have heard of, now that you're looking at it, you think you've at least heard of something called like an Umbra Hulk before, that they're creatures that usually are in dark areas and caves, and they're very rare to find, and very few people usually survive encounters with them. However, you have heard also that their hulls, like their natural armor that's on them, their carapaces, I guess it is, for certain armorers, can actually go for quite a lot if you can figure out how to, field dress this thing to.
Play this thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's what they make
So the
chitin
tunnel
armor
that I'm in
out of, I believe.
with this thing's corpse is collapsing, correct?
Very slowly. Yes.
Okay, but the den that they're in, that's not collapsing?
Doesn't seem to be.
Can we drag it? Like, is it too big for us to drag it?
And
It is a
try
large
and
creature.
shove the-
It would weigh.
None of us do it.
As a large
You know
creature,
that shit.
it would weigh something like 1,200 pounds.
Hey, we can get that easy.
Really? How tall are you? Oh no, it's Cave.
So,
It's team.
I'm like
So
I'm like
top of the
6'2".
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So it-
tiny but super powerful.
It would probably weigh about as much as like maybe 2.5 full-grown deer.
I'm not dragging this
So-
dead thing out of this hole, y'all.
The best bet would be to cut a large piece off of it.
But those two of you, Bastard and Varus, that have gone down into the den, you can each give me a perception check.
What's my perception?
Doing things.
I got a 15.
Basically, what you find is just old carcasses of dead animals. They're just on top of each other. And what you do notice is that now that you're down in this den, like the entire floor is just like a layer upon layer upon layer of bones of different things that this thing has probably killed and dragged down here or whatever. So, I mean, we're basically just walking on probably 1.5 feet, maybe 2
A
foot
carpet of bones.
of bones. So,
I got a 25.
Lovely.
with your 25, you're also on this, we'll say, floor of bones. And while Bastard is probably kicking some bones around and everything like that, you also move some bones. Then, as you move bones, you find like the remains of probably at least one adventurer that is, from what you can tell, elven in heritage, and it is wearing it's still wearing like a piece of armor, but the rest of it seems to have been decayed away to where the skeleton just has like a very nice looking piece of armor on, but it's buried under a pretty good amount of bones.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take that armor and find my way out of that hole.
Okay, it's gonna take you I won't say a minute or two, it'll take you a few rounds to basically pull that out, and but yes,
Right.
you're gonna find a chain shirt, that is a very nice chain shirt.
Sweet.
Now, what but yeah, Bastard, you don't find anything. The only thing that you would find is after I start digging down there, you'd see him pulling up this piece of armor.
I don't see anything shiny at all. It's fucking bullshit.
Just bones.
Oh,
Hey, this is a wild animal, man. It doesn't care about gemstones and everything. It just wants to eat.
Well, it ought to. All right, so I get a whole. Can I get a whole? I get a whole round of looking in there. Can I run another perception check, see if I see anything else?
No, you did your perception check.
You don't see nothing else.
I want to do another one. All right. I guess I don't see anything, so I'm strolling back up the rope.
All right, you start climbing the rope. No problem. You get up there and basically you see guys scoping out this carcass thing. You know, he seems to be talking with
I'm gonna go ahead
Brizzo
and
about
try and
something.
Field dress this and get the armor off of it.
Oh, first off, are you proficient in survival?
No,
The
Alright.
Ranger monkey.
can I not do that then?
You can, but at disadvantage.
Boo.
Is the
so
ranger-
roll 2 then? I take the lower.
Yes.
Have I gotten back up there yet?
No,
So-
Bastard has gone up first.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty sure that
You're solo, buddy.
But yeah, I'll just say by now, they're sitting there playing with this carcass thing. Let's see, Yik, Cade.
Yes.
You guys are at the entrance of the cave that they just went
What?
into.
What?
You guys are. It's obvious that this cave entrance is collapsing slowly. Like you can see
I think
the,
it's just that part of the house.
rocks falling down.
You didn't
Everything,
remember?
and you probably even
Alright.
move some out of the
Almost.
way or whatever.
Uh huh.
Come on, Chico. I know you're scared. Let's go. Is weather missing it? Like every day.
Bye.
Swag, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just talking to wifey. You need me to roll something?
No, just checking if you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I let my dogs out. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to have my mic down.
All right.
Yeah, me and
You
you
guys
are
are
up at the top of the
standing
thing, noticing it falling
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah, it's sort of falling in on them. You guys are sort of checking the time every now and then and be like, how long has it been? Do you think they'll be back anytime soon? You guys.
I want to stroll over to that other room.
Are you going to go all the way around the side into that other place?
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
gonna pull out a torch and we gonna go exploring.
To the left or the right?
No wonder
Yik,
by
what are you
yourself.
doing?
I'm hanging, following Cade.
All right, so Errol will go with you as well. So Cade, Errol, Yik, and your metal defender. You guys all leave the
Clanking
cave
into the
entrance,
darkness, we shall go.
and
Thanks for
you
watching the haul,
go
guys.
around and go right into this open area of the cave, or the cave leads into this open area. With your light, as you guys get closer to it, you look in there. You can basically see that this area seems uninhabited. There's nothing.
Nothing immediately
Obvious.
trying to kill me.
Yeah, nothing immediately takes your notice as far as stuff that's moving. But what you do find in here are this is a very large cave, by the way. It's not as large as the area that the fountain was in, but it is larger than the area that you guys fought the hags. It's almost like 3 times the size as that area where you found the hags, but it probably only a quarter as large as the area where the fountain is at. And in this area, what you see, and I'm just going to say you guys are going to see it because it's very obvious. You're going to see basically 2 of these ponds that like you saw at the hag area, except for they're completely dry. There's no water in them. There's one that's on the left side of this room and one that's on the right side of this room, and so if you were to be walking into this room, let's say that the direction that you're coming from is the south, or the bottom, you'd find one basically in the bottom left and one in the top right, so they're like in opposite corners,
A kitty corner from each other.
yeah. And then what you also see in this room is that on the side to your left, there are statues of elves. And then on the side to your right, there's statues of elves. But these elves look completely different from each other. The ones on your right, lining that way, these statues, you can see that well, some of them are crumbled and everything like that, but there's probably about 12 statues on either side, and they're lining sort of the wall area, and you can tell they were probably very well painted at one point and everything like that. But while some of the paint has stayed because this is a mostly sunless area, a lot of the paint has also peeled away because of the humidity or because of the, the water that was. But on the right hand side, the elves that line that wall seem to have like little fins that come off of like their elbows and stuff like that. You can see that that it almost looks like their feet would have been webbed or of some way, shape, or form. You see tints of blue of wherever they're left, and you can see them, from the statues that are still mostly complete, that they seem to be either holding tridents or staffs, or there's a variety of different things on there, but a lot of them are pretty worn away. On the other hand, you see elves that typically look like normal elves, except for they all have wings off of their backs, and they you can see them, on statues of them holding different like bows and javelins and other type of things like that. But and each of the two ponds that are dried out, you can see have the little rivulet, the river feeds. One of the river feeds, the one that seems to be coming from the aquatic looking elves, that little river feed sort of, now that you're paying attention to it, it seems to go back down the tunnel that you had come, but unsure, at some point it probably like disappeared, or you just didn't see it coming this way.
Terminated.
Well, you guys were following it, actually. That's right. Anyways, and then the other one seems to go the exact opposite way down, and it disappears into what looks to be another tunnel at the far end of the tunnel or of this big room that you come from, or that you're in. Also in this room, you can actually see that there's areas of this room that doesn't seem to be completely natural looking stone like how most of this has been. You can actually see areas to where the ground is flat and that there's probably a mosaic under it. However, I'd say 90% of the floor here though does look like a normal cavern floor, like perhaps stuff has fallen down on top of it to give it a solid stone, natural cavern looking thing. So whatever ruins you guys are in are extremely old for natural rock to have basically formed over them, the worked mosaics and everything below them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys I'm just going to say you guys are probably looking around in here the entire time that those guys are doing their thing with this Umber Hulk. So I'm going to go back to the Umber Hulk crew. All right, you get your chain shirt armor out of off of the thing. You get back up the hole, and at this point, both sets of parties here. Everybody, give me a reflex or a dexterity save. Everybody, no matter what party you're in, give me a dex save.
Wait. Bro, I'm on fire with these 19s. I rolled so many of these tonight. So
17.
That would be a 21.
Okay. Anybody that got above a 13 makes it. Anybody that's below a 13 basically falls and goes prone for a round, as no matter where you're at, you can feel what almost feels like an earthquake or something, like the entire cavern system shakes. Those of you that are in the room with the elf statues, I mean, you guys get shaken a little bit. Some rocks fall from the ceiling, but nothing really happens for you guys. Those of you that are in the cavern coming out after the wait a second, what was this? Okay. Moment. Those of you that are in the cavern or the cave getting ready to come out, you guys basically, as you're getting up, well, you guys were working on the trying to skin this one creature, right?
Failed.
Yeah, you were sort of fell into that. As you're in the middle of skinning that one creature, and Varys, you basically got back up to there. All of you, you know, that's when this earthquake thing starts to happen. That's when this earthquake thing starts to happen, and you can see immediately that many of the rocks start falling very fast. So like probably what you had of 5 minutes left is down to like the thing seems to be collapsing as you guys are standing there. What are you wanting to do?
Did anyone fall down, or?
I think everybody got above a 12 on their
Okay.
13.
I
Yeah,
did not.
14.
You did not?
Everyone but me.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay, so Geist actually fell and prone for this round, like, but the rest of you maintained your footing during this earthquake.
Well, I was
And it
behind
seemed-
everyone,
it-
so
Yeah,
I'm running,
it's-
and I'm gonna grab Geist and try and help him up, and we're running our asses out of there. So.
okay. Here's what I'm going to have you do then.
Okay.
The one that is closest to the rope is either going to be Brizzo or Bastard. Let's see, I'll say Bastard would actually be the closest one to the rope to being able to get out first. Bastard, what are you wanting to do? As this earthquake has just happened, rocks are starting to fall down the hole that's, you know, you have to climb 20 feet up to in order to get to the place to where you can run out of this place, out of here.
I'll climb up to the rope, and I'm pretty sure I also have rope myself, and I'll tie my rope and let it fall to the bottom.
Because you're trying to do it in such a hurry, I will require an athletics check as rocks are starting to fall. I have a set number of rounds before this tunnel collapses in on itself. But I need a.
Wait, you know what? I don't have
You
fucking rope. Oh, no, I do. I got 50 feet. I'm sorry. All right, athletics
Well,
check. Sorry.
Athletics for check to climb the rope.
$23.
You scurry up the rope just fine. You get up to the top there. Rocks are sort of falling on your shoulders and stuff
see.
like that.
They're not bad.
Rizzo, what do you want to do? You just saw Bastard, you know, after this earthquake and shake, he grabs the ropes and just climbs up.
Can I cast Longstrider and GTFO right alongside him there? Like,
You can cast Longstrider. What does that
why
do?
That was. What did you do?
Wait, you did say that I did end up tying the rope effectively, right?
You end up climbing the rope.
I'm
You're trying,
sure.
so you can throw the other end of the rope down. You can spend next round tying the.
Okay.
Say long. Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna try and run the fuck out of here if I can.
So you're casting Longstrider.
No, because someone changed it out for healing word.
Oh.
Yes.
Call him out, why don't you?
Come on.
Okay. I will also require the athletics check
Did what
from
I'm
you to
best
climb
to.
the rope.
I don't know. Athletics check. Oh, Jesus. 8.
Eight.
Super.
So you go grab the rope, but there's two ropes hanging that are down this way now, and you grab the rope, and you begin to pull down on it to try to climb up. And Bastard, you're getting ready to tie your end of the rope onto something, and then your rope just starts flying down the hole as like someone's like pulling it down.
Wow. Wow.
never
Just
did-
wow.
God damn it.
Wrong rope, wrong rope.
Next up, Geist, you have fallen. You've gone prone due to this earthquake. The only thing you can do at this point, basically, well, you tell me what you want to do.
Didn't I try helping him up, or is my turn over for trying to help him up?
Yeah.
Oh,
we're
sure.
trying to
Yeah,
get up and get out of there.
yeah. So you
No,
run over to try to help him up, and so here's what I'm going to say for you, Varys. You can use your action to help him up, so he doesn't have to use his action if you'd like to.
I'm gonna use my action to help him up and also cast guidance on him at the same time.
Okay, so you go over, you help him up, you cast guidance on him, and you're standing there as more of this rubble's falling down on you. Guys, you don't have to use your action to get up. You still have your action and movement action.
He knocks Varys down.
Oh.
Dick move.
No, I'm gonna say thanks, Varys. Let's get out of here. Run to the rope.
All right, you run to the rope. You get to the rope. There's one rope that seems coiled up on the ground as Brizzo is pulling, and it just is falling down, on her type thing. And then there's another rope that's tied there as well.
But she's okay, right? She's not like in a heap on the ground.
Well,
just
she's
standing
probably
there.
she's probably not
Not
happy.
looking good. Okay.
Looking pretty defeated when that rope fell down to her.
Just like coiling on her face,
Right.
like a cartoon.
Oh fuck.
Fucking Wile E.
I'm
Coyote
gonna,
style.
I'm gonna grab the rope and hand it to her and say, "Go, go, go."
Excuse me. All right,
Alethea?
thank you. Bastard, you're at the top there. You were getting ready to tie it, and all of a sudden your rope just started doing the whole, running down the thing. There's still enough of it to where you can try to grab a hold of it if you'd like to, but it seems to be going pretty fast. What would you like to do?
Well, yeah, the reason why I was up there was to give these guys an extra rope to climb up, so I'll grab it real quick and tie it.
All right, give me a strength check.
Oh, please fucking roll.
I'm gonna die here. I've already used all my good rolls tonight. Like I'm so screwed.
Yeah.
Going in the hole, not the best option.
I don't know. I got
Ooh, nearly again 22, man. 19 plus 3, 22.
Okay, so you actually grab it and are able to wrap it around your arm real quick, as it had probably gone about 25 feet of it has gone down into the hole or so and started, or I should say an extra 25 feet. So you've got the last 5 feet of the rope here, and you've grabbed it, and you seem to have it really good. What would you like to do with it?
I'm gonna call out to my teammates down there and say, okay, both ropes are secure. Get up, get out of there.
No, when you haven't tied it, you're holding it. So you're holding the rope. You haven't tied it up.
Yeah, I want to
You're
try
gonna
it.
try it. All right, give me I think it would just be a survival check to tie the rope. I don't think because you're doing it in a hurry, as rocks are falling down on you. Basically, it's sort of like you're being rained on with
I
rocks
got
right
an
now.
18. I got an
Okay.
18, 15.
So
plus
you
2.
go, you find a place, you tie it as best you can, probably trying to cover your head a little bit as these rocks are falling down on you and pelting. Actually, with the amount of rocks that are coming down on you, You're going to take a D4 points of damage. Everybody's going to start taking a D4 point of damage that's in here as these rocks are
Yep.
falling down on them. So, Bastard, you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as all these rocks are falling.
Why didn't you
Alright.
stab the rock, man?
Stabby, stabby.
Stabby fucking stabby. What's up with
Brizzo,
that?
Geist has just handed you the rope and told you to go. What are you wanting to do?
Haul ass up the rope.
Give me another athletics check.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you pathetic.
And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as rocks are face and everything.
Oh, shit.
Why am I always taking the most fucking damage constantly?
A 5. So you try to climb this rope, and these rocks that are falling basically distract you so much that you can't even really get going. Like you try to grab the rope, probably put your feet on the wall and try to walk it up, but these rocks start hitting you, and you're basically just put your feet back on the ground, and you're. I mean, it just for some reason
It ain't
it's just
working
not
out.
happening. Yeah. Geist, you were standing right beside her as she attempted to climb this rope, but seems to have given up, but hasn't really let go of the rope. What are you wanting to do? There's a second
this is
rope as well
collapsing
now.
Really fast, right? Really. don't
Yep,
have that much
actually,
time left.
you're going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as rocks are falling down upon you.
Well, can't seem to make it up the rope. And maybe we should just head down back into the den and get out of this collapse. Ferris, what do you think? Thoughts?
Varys, you're up next. I mean, if Geist wants to do an
Mid-blood-
actual action,
20 feet. I wonder.
Mid-bludgeoning. Just mid bludgeoning. Hey man, you want
my
to kind of go
dude
the
is-
other way?
My dude is pretty strong. Can I launch you? Like, I don't know.
Varys,
That's
you also take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from rocks.
okay. Damn.
Rocks
But it's
don't
my
fall.
turn though, right? So, did I catch up to them? Like, I was behind. because I
Absolutely,
helped-
yeah, absolutely. You get caught up to them. He's
Alright.
Geist basically is like, "What do you think, Ferris?"
Guys, did you not try climbing? Bro, you should climb.
No,
like,
I
what-
have, but I've just watched.
It's-
Yeah.
it's-
Okay.
So take
I'm
your
gonna
turn
try
because
and
you
climb
have.
then.
Good. Okay. So before my turn, you should climb, and then because you still have guidance on you, so
All right, let's climb.
you have plus.
Give me an athletics check.
20.
And plus
Yeah,
your
you may-
D4. Well, okay.
Yeah, you make it up the rope. So you start climbing the rope. Rocks were falling on you and everything like that, but you get up there. Bast is there to to help you up that last like little bit to where and the you and Bastard are up at the top of this 20-foot drop down to where you can see Varys and Brizzo down there. Varys, it's still the second half of your turn
Oh, so I
because you did
never
You
really.
did it
I'm sorry. What?
I said you did 30 foot. Well, you used part of your movement to get over to here. Now, what are you wanting to do
So-
for the rest of your?
So can I try and use the action to climb, or?
Absolutely, you can. Athletics check.
Well, Brizzo's still down there, so I'd rather see Brizzo get out. So I guess I'll use guidance on her then.
Okay, so you cast guidance on her then. All right, Bastard, it's your turn. What are you wanting to do? I don't know. He might have left. All right.
Hello.
So, Geist, I'm going to ask you, what do you want to do? You're up at the top of the thing. I'm going to say Bastard is probably left. He probably just turned and hauled the way out, unless Swag
No,
says.
he's right there.
Bastard,
I'm
what do you
here,
want to do?
I'm here.
You're at the top. You're at the top of the hole. You just helped Geist get up here. You've tied the rope there. Rocks are still falling. What are you wanting to do?
No, I'm here to help, man. So I'm gonna drag anybody up I can. So the only people left are who's left down there?
Varys and Brizzo.
Okay, Brizzo, are you still pulling my rope, the one that I tied? So I think I'll just literally pull you up.
I was being hit by a lot of rocks, and I
Since
think
you're
I might
obviously
be trying to
terrible at
climb.
climbing walls.
I'm pretty bad at it. It's pretty bad. It's not looking
All right,
good.
I'm just gonna help you up. I'm just gonna help you up.
All right,
Give
so
me a
you're
roll.
gonna start pulling up the rope. You're gonna start pulling up the rope that she's holding on to.
Uh-huh.
All right, go ahead and give me a strength check, please.
And while they're rolling that,
Okay.
Alice said that Brizzo should jump on the rocks as they fall, anime style, and ninja yourself to the top.
Yeah.
Okay, I only got a 14.
I don't know. Her athletics checks have been pretty bad.
All right, so you got a 14. You're pulling the rope up and everything like that. So you, Bastard, you take 3 more points of bludgeoning damage from the rocks falling.
Son of a bitch. So do I get her up or what?
No, she still has. You're giving her because your 14 did not quite. It needed a 15 actually to give her advantage on her athletics check coming up. So, but you're pulling the rope up, and she's still trying to hold on to the rope, but it's probably sliding through her hands. At the bottom. Geist, what are you doing?
Eating snacks.
This is the best
I am
entertainment I've seen all day.
This is so good, guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Air 5.
Well, I guess since he's helping her, or at least trying to, I'll yell down to Varys to grab the rope and start trying to pull it up.
Give me a strength check.
Uh, 13.
13. Okay, you're not gonna give him advantage on it, but you are pulling up the rope. All right, Brizzo, it's your turn. You have guidance on you for this round. What would you like to do? The rope is
An
starting to be pulled up.
I'm really scared to keep climbing, but I might as well climb.
Oh yeah, Geist, I forgot to. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage from the rest of the falling rocks that are on you.
Rock. All right.
2 more points of bludgeoning. Brizzo.
I'm gonna try and climb up this thing and get the fuck out of this hole I jumped in to try.
Athletics check. With guidance, what's your guidance
Roll.
giver?
It gives her a plus a D4, so roll a D4 with it and add it.
and 18.
All right. So with the rope being pulled up and the extra energy from guidance, you start making your way up this rope. Scaling this 20-foot wall. You take 3 more points of damage from bludgeoning stuff hit you, but you're very determined, and you eventually get up there. And Bastard
Fucking
is there.
determined. Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of this hole.
And Bastard is there to, help you in the last couple of feet, where you reach up, you grab his hand, and he helps pulls you up. Varys, it's your turn. What
Appreciate
would
you,
you
brother.
like to do?
It's my turn to climb the rope, right? So.
Yep.
Come on, I'm proficient in athletics, so
Thank you.
please, come on.
That
Yep.
was.
That's a 13.
Nat 1, and he falls to the bottom.
A 13?
How long does Bardic Inspiration last? I never use your Bardic Inspiration.
It's probably
Should still be good.
active. It's like hours.
Yeah. Yeah, you can still use it.
So does that add 6, or do I roll a d6 and add it?
You roll a d6 and add whatever you roll.
2, so I got a 15.
All right, with your 15, that's exactly what you needed. You take 3 more points of bludgeoning damage as rocks are falling, and basically the same thing. You're scaling this wall right beside Brizzo, basically, as the two of you guys get up there, and Brizzo, is able to, or Ambassador reaches down, grabs Brizzo's hand to help pull her up, while at the same time Geist reaches his hand down to help pull you up, and you guys both get up on the ledge at roughly about the same time, step in step. Next round.
Y'all paying attention? This is what teamwork looks like.
You jumped into a hole following a giant tunneling
I
insect. and
killed the
you're
damn
literally-
thing.
But the point is, we did it together.
You ran off to the woods and got a teammate killed while we walked into a fairy forest and got in this mess. So we're even.
One thing that you guys can tell right away, with all the rocks falling on you, not much of this cavern is still left for you guys to be able to get out of.
Okay.
If I rolled a percentiles basically to see how much of the cavern is blocked, and or how much of the cavern is open, I should say. Only about 21% of this cavern is still open. So that's how many rocks has been falling down from this earthquake. So that essentially gives you guys not much time to get out of here. And that 10 foot by 10 foot square of this cavern to come down has been reduced to basically a little less than a 5 foot square to where you're going to have to scurry over some rocks and get out.
Dude, I'm
the
agile.
hell
Fuck,
outta
I'm
here.
through there.
I'm going to
Yeah,
say,
right out of that hole.
Bastard, you're up first.
Hell yeah, I'm super agile. I'm getting straight through that shit. What do you want me to roll?
Alright. First off, what's your movement speed?
It's just 30 feet walking.
Okay, I was gonna say if you have a 40 movement speed, you're automatically gonna make it. If you have a 30 or less, then I'm gonna have to make you roll stuff. First off, you're gonna take 3 more points of damage from bludgeoning, and then
Great.
now
Yeah, go ahead.
tell me how you're trying to get out, because that's gonna be the type of check that I'm make you do.
Just straight up ninja movement. I don't know. Fucking.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's gonna be an acrobatics then, I guess. if
Naruto.
Ninja movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Get your Naruto arms out there, man.
I'm only going to set the DC at 12. So you need a 12 DC in order to get out with your acrobatics.
17. Suck it.
All right. So you go basically you do the step and sort of like dive out the little bit that's there as you're getting pulled to the rocks. You come out, you roll on the ground on the other side. You can see that the rocks are starting to fall and close up the hole behind you, but I mean everybody else still gets their action this round. Geist, what are you wanting to do? How are you wanting to try to escape?
I am going to try and... How far am I from the edge of the...
20 feet.
Okay, I'm going to try and quickly dance my way out of the...
Dance?
Dance.
Wow. Dance.
Uh,
he says.
That's
There's a reason.
performance.
That's performance, right?
That's what they call showbiz.
Is your charisma high, and are you proficient in
Yes! I am good at performance.
Okay.
Look at
Oh.
John. He's like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Wow.
Dance your way
I'm
out.
actually really
Cha- cha-
fucking
cha.
impressed with that, man. Shit.
Cha 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 your way through. Okay.
1,
Um,
2, 3, 4, 5.
you know what? I'll tell you what. Go ahead and do your performance. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Try it.
It's called the Running Man, all right?
Oh shit, man. That is crazy.
14. 14.
Okay. Somehow you're able to cha cha your way out of the. I don't know. Cade, while you're standing in this large room, this earthquake has happened. Your little dancing blade. What did I say his name was? I have it written down. It was
Derv.
Derv. Yeah, Derv. Was all like, I oddly feel inspired to do a cha-cha. Care to join me?
I'll just pat it like on the top, be like, no, that's okay.
Do a cha-cha-cha.
Brizzo, what sort of odd escaping method do you wish to try in order
Oh, you
to get out of
absolutely
it?
know I'm gonna fucking cha-cha out of this motherfucker.
Alright, the two of you are basically trying to cha-cha out. Go ahead and roll your
Slide to the left. Slide to the left.
Oh, shit.
Are they couples dancing their way out?
I apparently can't dance very well either, y'all. I'm not very athletic at all.
Well, it's a performance checks.
I know. A 3.
You rolled a 3? Alright, so the two of you basically start to
9.
cha-cha together to try to go through this stuff, and then you sort of like trip over a rock, but in the tripping over the rock, Geist is basically just like, bye, and is out. It's fine. No.
Seems legit.
Oh,
And you fall. And you're not able to get out this round. Oh, also, you took 1 point of bludgeoning damage from the rocks that were falling on you. Varys, what sort of crazy methodology do you try to use?
So all that's left is me and Brizzo, right?
Yes, Brizzo's already used her movement.
Well, then I will pick her up and I will cast guidance again. And
All right, so you run over. You go pick her up. You're gonna cast guidance on her. You're gonna take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. All right, now. The rocks are still falling very. Bastard and Geist, you guys have just made it out. What do you want to do?
So did I take my rope back with me, or is it still stuck in this?
You never mentioned that you took it with you. It's stuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Burn.
Boo.
Burn. Okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
we left our rope.
Did.
Fucking fuck. What kind
Took
of
some
fuckery is that? See if I have anything to assist.
The opening that you and Geist both got out this round is closing up. They are not going to be able to get out this round unless there's something that you guys can think of. They're not even going to get an option to, basically, unless there's something you guys can.
Dang.
That's how heavy these rocks are falling and how quickly.
Throw your owl up in that shit, like.
Yeah, like so. Wait, so I can't. If I don't go in there to get them and bring them back, they're done for.
I didn't say that.
I know what to
said
do.
that. All right. Well, you two are both out there. You guys can make a decision together what you guys want to do. Geist, if you know what you're doing. Bastard.
I'm going to pull out my folded boat, stick it in the entrance to the tunnel, and unfold it to try and support the hole so they can get out.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. So you do that. You take your folded boat. You basically turn it upside down. You open up the thing, and it comes out as a long boat going that way. I'm going to say you probably use the canoe thing of it as opposed to like the full ship looking bit of it.
Yes.
Not yet.
And Varys and
Gonna want that
Brizzo,
Willy this
you guys-
shit. Alright.
you guys are
That-
like laying there as rocks are falling over. Then all of a sudden, rocks stop falling, and you can see this little pinpoint of. Well, no, actually, there's no light. You basically can feel this little breeze of air coming toward you a little bit, as you can both see ahead of you that there's this weird structure that seems inverted over you. Basically, think of Pirates of the Caribbean when they're walking on the bottom of the water and they have just that little bit of air pocket there, you know? It's sort of like that. The boat's inverted, upside down, and you basically have like this little bit of an area to where you could probably crawl through, but all the rocks have stopped falling around you. And if it wasn't for this, that it's come over you, you would have been pinned and buried under there. But now you have a small little hole to try to crawl out of that doesn't seem to be.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Clever twice, 2 turns in a row, man. You're on fire.
Clever play, sir.
And I will say that you guys don't need to make a check at that point, but it will take you like a couple of rounds to do it because it'll be very slow going because it's mostly been covered up or filled up in dirt. But yeah, you're able to scurry through the crossbars of the canoe area and both of you are able to get out. You'll be scraped up, you'll be bruised, but you're not buried alive.
Nice.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, as soon as they make it out, can I refold the boat and let the hole close?
Okay, so you
Sweet
go.
boat safe, man.
Yeah, so you go to like refold the boat, and then it begins to collapse back on itself, and then like you can feel like the cavern shift a little bit, and more rocks just fall there to fill it in. But then you're holding your little box of a boat, and everybody is out. Very nicely, very good use of a boat that I wasn't anticipating.
He was trying to kill a couple of characters there.
Dance your way out and throw a fucking boat. Right on. Boat as an umbrella for rocks.
It worked.
All right. So the rest of you guys have made it out. Yik, Cade, you guys, I've explained what you guys have seen. What are you guys wanting to do after this little earthquake had happened? Most of you guys are all basically fine. Like Errol and your still defender both fell down, but they've both stood up since then.
My character will.
Investigate.
Yeah,
I wanna
investigate.
the area. So
Okay. I'm gonna say it's gonna take quite a while. It's a very large area. If you want to, are you particularly wanting to focus on the winged elf side or like the sea elf side?
sea elf.
Sea elves. Okay. Cade, what are you wanting to do?
I'll take the other side.
You're taking the winged elf. Okay.
The windows.
All right. Go ahead and roll your investigation.
Okay, here we go.
Both of you
21.
can. And what are you exactly? What are you like looking for?
Anything that sticks out. Anything that's
Okay.
obviously not supposed to be there. I got a 28.
Okay. Yik.
Looking for information. Any information that would be provided there, be it something that did not belong, or inscriptions, or anything that may be there on the statues.
Okay. What would you roll for your investigation?
21.
21 and 28. Oh, okay, cool. So you guys are doing this for a little while. I'm just gonna say it takes a little bit because there's such a large area to cover. What you guys find out? Do both of you speak Elven?
I do.
I don't.
You don't? All right. So, some of the inscriptions that you find, Yik, deal with welcoming travelers to, to the realm of the aquatic elves, the Alu. Atlantis welcomes you with open arms whenever you arrive. You're basically just hearing all these different these different inscriptions on some of
Kind
these
of like a
different.
welcome to Hawaii kind of thing going on.
Yeah, but they're all very weathered, so I mean, it's not like you get like the full thing, but you're basically just getting that this is. Think of this more as like this whole cavern system, sort of more as like a Grand Central Station type thing. This is just like one of the,
What?
and this is apparently where you'd go to the Sea Elves city of Atlantis, wherever that would take you.
Then I inform Cade of what I have found.
Okay. Then with the while you're over there looking at the winged elves, you find all like the same types of inscriptions, but you don't necessarily know what they say. They're probably more weathered or broken or something like that, to where you can't get full readings on them. You don't find like anything magical or any of that type of stuff. It's just a cavern system. There's nothing super hidden here. Will say with your 28 though, you're probably looking around. I will just say that probably in some of the rubble that's fallen, you find like one very rough gemstone. It doesn't seem to be associated with anything. It hasn't been cut or anything. It's just probably fallen from like
a piece of quartz or something, basically.
Yeah, except for it's probably a little bit better than that. I did roll pretty high on its value, but unless you have a prey, I don't think praises.
Praise isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
I'll just take it in my pocket for the time being.
Yeah.
And keep moving. Is there any, like?
I will tell you that it's a 50 gold piece worth. So it's just a gemstone that's in the 50 gold piece value. So
Cool.
That's being unfinished, and that's just because you rolled a 28.
Is there anything that would lead me to believe that like this place was like abandoned in a hurry, or there was any like scuffle or anything like that? Seems odd that magical pool that leads to other places would have been just left with no.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like there doesn't seem to be anything left behind. There's no skeletons of elves. There's no clothing left. I mean, whatever happened seems to have happened. Whether it happened really quick or maybe it was a planned exodus or whatever, it's hard to say. Whatever has happened here, it's left this cavern system completely unoccupied for however many years and completely untouched, where, I mean, other than that Umber Hulk and perhaps some wild animals that may have wandered in, occasionally. You see no other signs that anybody's been here, and I guess the hags that had found their little cove through the fairy forest.
Is there another exit at the other end of the?
Yeah, there is. It seems to. It just seems to go, and you can see it sort of curving a little off to the right a bit.
I'll approach it, but I'm also like, is there another doorway, kind of like what we found with the cube, the lattice cube? Yeah.
No, not that you
Not
see.
that I can see. Okay. I mean, I'll wander back over to Yik and see about, like, maybe hook it back up and see if the other guys are out of the, fighting their bug.
Yeah. So the rest of you guys have gotten out of collapsing tunnel. You have a moment of celebration, or just elation of like, oh god, we made it out of there alive, or whatever it is you guys are doing. Now, what are
High
you?
fives all around.
Yeah. What are you guys wanting to do?
Let's head back up there and rest of the party.
I also want to kind of check out this chainmail that I have.
Well, we went down and to the right, I think is what we said.
The right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say basically you guys are coming because you said you're going to go back, right? Cade and
I came back to Yik. That's when I imagined Yik would tell me everything.
Okay. So you guys are having your conversation, and Errol is looking around as well. He adds a little. There's nothing really useful. He doesn't see Elvin. But
Then I guess I'm gonna kind of try and transcribe what was on the winged elves.
very much similar things. You do not get an actual name of a city, though. The city one looks like it has been actually destroyed and perhaps a cave in. It's for the sea elves, you can find, a total of like 10 different bases of statues here. Like 8 of those sea elves are still standing in some way or form. You also see 10 statues of the winged elves, but there's only like 3 of them still standing in some shape or form. It seems like they've had a rougher time at it from whatever cave-ins have happened. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the idea. All right. So the rest of the party, Varys, Brizzo, Bastard, Geist, you guys have said you guys are going to go meet up with the rest of these guys.
I want to check out this this mail shirt real quick, if I can. Is there anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting?
Yes. Give me a second. It is chainmail. It is Elven Mithril chainmail. +1. So it's a +1 Elven Mithril chainmail. Mithril, yeah. Basically, what Mithril does is that it makes it lighter, so that if you're wearing it, and it would normally give you disadvantage on stealth checks, you're no longer at disadvantage on stealth checks.
That's pretty handy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So pretty much, if you're not proficient at chainmail, I can give it to you, and you can still not be at disadvantage.
well, with heavy, chainmail's not heavy, is it? It's just
Is it light?
It's medium.
Is it medium?
yeah. So I'm trying to look for.
Mithril, I think in like 3.5 and 4 used to make it light armor, but like that was back then.
Yeah, they've sort of looking for the actual description of Mithril here. I know it's somewhere in here, but anyway, it's chainmail that's +1, and it's Mithril. It's made in very nice designs of like with elves in mind. So it's like custom made to like fit an elf, to where and to where it seems to have like little shoulder things that almost look like leaves that sort of come down over like that. Or,
Okay.
John.
Just all sorts. I mean, it looks really nice.
You said mithril chainmail, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that
Change
is
her.
a heavy armor. And then its
He
description.
said chain. Hold up. He said change shirt is what he said at first.
Did I change shirt? Okay, change
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
And that's a medium. Either way. Mithril chain shirt can be worn under blah blah blah. If the armor normally imposes disadvantage on stealth checks or has a strength requirement, the mithril version does not.
Okay. Well, then I don't need this because I have half plate and I want to keep it, so I'm gonna toss it to Brizzo.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Shiny.
And because it's elven chain, it does. You are considered proficient with this armor, even if you lack proficiency with medium armor, because
There
it's
you go.
elven chain.
Sweet.
I guess I don't.
I
need
have
to say
light,
+1,
medium.
because that's redundant with elven chain.
Yeah.
Basically, mithril elven chain shirt. So.
Cool. Well, then I guess we'll go ahead and follow the rest of the group if we can. Well, I will. So.
Cool.
Same.
All right. So Cade and Yick and Errol, you guys are all talking about what you found. I will say that, Errol says, "Oh, do you guys hear that? Something's coming." And you guys can all make your perception checks, because he rolled really high on his perception check.
10.
Okay.
8.
Okay. Yeah, you guys don't really hear it, but he's just like, "Do you guys hear that?" And he turns to look back in the direction that you guys had come from beforehand. He's got his crossbow, drawn just in case. And then sort of around the corner, those of you that have first off, Varys, do you have your light? You have light source going?
I do. Yeah, I
Okay.
keep that.
Yeah, you guys see this light source come around the corner, and you guys recognize them as your group. They look beat up, scratched, pretty dirty, covered in rock dust and stuff.
How long did it
Not
take to
exact-
catch up to him?
Not long.
We're not that far down the path, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's important.
I mean, about a minute.
Okay, discard then. Yep. Ring of Regeneration, right? I'm looking to get health back. So.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, you guys see them coming along, and then you guys see basically Errol, Cade, and another guy, and standing in this room.
Arrow, Cade, another
And
guy.
some and a guy that
We don't recognize.
I don't know.
Well,
Do you recognize?
well, if it's another guy, no, because it would be Arrow, Cade, and Yik would be the only ones we don't know, or that we. And
Yeah,
Yik,
you don't see.
Yik is not a guy, so.
Yeah, you don't see Yik there, or at least.
Okay, well, as we walk up, I think I have one more spell. I don't know if I want to use it though.
You do see Yik's still defender, sort of standing idly by off to the side, though.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make my way towards this other guy to make sure.
And Errol, basically, as you guys come in view, is all like, it's good to see you guys made it okay.
Did you have fun in your hole?
Okay, well, I'll respond to him and say.
Well, actually,
Not all of us did, apparently.
I'll let him know. I'll ask who this other person is, as I'm making my way to put myself between whoever this person is and the rest of my group.
I don't know. Errol just turns and sort of like looks at this other person, sort of questioningly, like, "Hey," sort of gives the "your show" type thing.
My show. Okay.
No, not your, to the other guy standing there.
Okay.
Were you expecting somebody different?
It's gonna be Yik fucking around. Yes. Where's Yik?
What makes you think Yik has gone anywhere?
You don't look like Yik. And Yik isn't here. Who are you?
It's bold of you to make assumptions on things you don't understand.
What I understand is you don't look like anybody I know, so you better start talking.
Or what?
Stab him! Stab him!
look, someone's already extra stabby tonight, so.
Right. Or what? Is that a challenge? Because I love a challenge.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to persuade this person to tell us who they are, what's going on.
Well, talk to him then. What are you saying in your persuasion?
Who are you? You claim to be Yik, but we don't recognize this form.
I never said I was Yik. You assumed something.
What's your name then, stranger? Have you
Now,
a name?
why would I give people who are being antagonistic my name?
We've been attacked in these tunnels. It's pretty usual of us to be cautious of strangers, people we don't know.
we've run into people that look like other people. We don't know who's who, right? So
There's a difference between being cautious and antagonistic.
is there? I don't
There is.
know. When we ask who you are and then you refuse to respond.
Well, why would I respond to somebody who's accusing and threatening and posturing?
You're by
Pretty sure
yourself.
Pretty sure all Vera said was, "Who are you?"
Followed by, is this a challenge?
After you said some antagonizing thing. So, yeah, I mean, of course, you were the one that incited this. I asked who you were, you refused to respond, and then you were antagonistic. So, of course I would respond in kind. We've been in this situation where we've had to kill people who looked just like someone else from our group. So, of course I'm not trusting.
Do you really think... Why, thank you,
Go.
Cade.
Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and flip a coin to the new person and just kind of shake my head and walk away.
It's very typical of Varus and Geist to immediately assume the worst. And
Of course, for
assume-
protection of my party.
I don't know that it's for protection of your party. I think you guys just like to fight.
Literally put myself between
I
you
like
and
to
the
fight.
rest of my party. So, you know, just saying.
Yeah.
It's not
Hey,
that I
Varys,
just like
can we
to fight,
stab it?
but-
I
Great,
mean,
can we
I
stab
Except
it
it
that way,
wasn't
so-
the rest of your party, as Cade is right there. I point
I
to
literally said I walked up to put myself between whoever that was and the rest of my party. So, I don't know what to say other than that.
You didn't ask me.
Yeah.
You just charged in. You didn't
That's
ask.
not true. Actually, that's not true. The first thing I asked was I asked the other people in the room. I said, "Who is this?" And I was told nothing. And then I said, "Who are you?" So
I didn't always direct it at me.
Yeah, he did. He did direct it right at Errol.
Are you
but Errol
kidding me?
basically-
Yeah, can we?
all right, guys,
So confused.
this is retarded. I'm sorry.
Taking a
So, hi
turn.
everybody, we're back together. This person's never.
Okay, I'll ask you, Cade. Who is this guy over here? What the fuck is
What
he
kind
doing?
of shit is trying to go on here? That's all I'm saying.
I am gonna try and bluff and be like, "We've been traveling with this person the whole time."
Well, obviously you know something we don't because we haven't been traveling with this person the whole time. This person looks.
Whose turn is it?
There's no turn right now. It's just
Right
wherever you
now,
guys
we're
wanna
just
do it.
confused as fuck. Everybody.
It's roleplay.
Take-
Yeah.
Go
take-
for it. Go for it, Lee.
It's the
Lee,
fun
you
part.
know, you know what you should do? Stab
Roll for Zone of Truth.
Just stab it.
Stab it.
Yes, definitely roll for Zone of
Okay.
Truth.
That's what I would like to do.
You're casting Zone of Truth.
Yes.
Okay, so you sit there, you cast a spell. Everybody within what's the range of Zone of Truth?
Oh man, it's a bet.
Zone of Truth, 15-foot radius, center point of your choice. What is your point of choice?
Top of the
This
dude.
new person.
Okay.
I wonder what's inside your butthole.
So,
I'll do it within a foot of this person.
all
I
right.
know that one.
Not gonna help because he can still be.
Basically, I'm gonna say
As good as-
everybody with the exception.
Always
of,
want to know what's inside.
everybody with the exception of Geist.
Yeah, there is an astronaut.
You're just gonna have to talk over them. They're gonna
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody with the exception of Geist and Bastard, and Brizzo, I guess, must make a charisma saving throw because I'm going to say Geist, Brizzo, and Bastard are outside of the radius. of Zone of
Radius.
Truth.
Okay.
So it's a charisma save. What is your charisma? What is your spell DC, Brizzo?
This is 14.
14.
I got a 2.
17.
Bastard, I said that you were outside of the radius. You don't have to roll.
Yeah, you don't have to roll.
Fuck yeah.
12.
16.
All right. Okay, so here's the. I want to read the spell description so everybody understands it quick. They create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius, centered on the point of her choice. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, the creature cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. So everybody that failed cannot speak a deliberate lie. So I'm gonna guess that's Varys and Nolan.
I rolled a
Cannot
17.
speak.
So
Oh, you did?
I'm
Okay.
good. Yeah.
I rolled a
Okay.
16, so.
All
I
right.
got nothing to lie about anyway, but
Cannot speak a deliberate lie. However, Brizzo, you know whether each creature has succeeded or failed on a saving throw based that's part of the spell. So you do know that both Varys and Cade have succeeded on their saving throw, so they can still lie right now if they said it. However, the other two that are in there, the Strange Man and Errol, have both failed their saving throws because he rolled a 5. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answer as it reminds of the truth. So, just to let you know, that
They can
is your
stand for
restrictions, okay? For whoever failed.
Okay.
So, you cast Zone of Truth. What are you doing after that? You cast this Zone of Truth. Everybody
I'm gonna ask
is
what the-
aware that something has happened to them. You're aware of who has passed, who has failed this spell. What are you asking?
What are you here for? To this
Well, like,
person. What are you here for?
I'm here for many things. Knowledge is one of those things.
it's like,
Me too.
well, I'm here to try to get out of here. I'd like to get back home. I'm here because you guys saved my life, and I'm trying to travel with you and avoid being killed. Actually, I would like to have a little bit more gear around. I feel somewhat exposed. I mean, I have a little bit, but well, that's what I'm sort of here for, is because I don't have anywhere to go right now. Is that what you wanted to know? I mean, oh man, this feels so weird.
if well, real quick to solve that. So if Brizzo has changed into her new chain shirt, she can give her or give Errol her old gear. Just a suggestion.
I'm still learning about people, okay? Psh. I'm trying to figure out who this person is, right?
Well, Errol, I'm just saying, like for okay,
I don't remember him helping very much down in that hole, though.
it's true.
Did he help? I mean, he helped a little, like.
Errol did not go in the hole with you. He
Errol did not. Yeah, he's
Oh,
been.
Arrow was a chick.
Screw that guy.
So fuck
Screw
him.
that guy.
Figure that guy out later.
Yeah.
We'll do introductions later. Oh fuck. So we're stuck in a cave with this person. This person appeared out of nowhere, or they approached. Do we know that?
We approached them.
You approached
We walked up to them.
you approach
area.
Cade. You approach Cade, Errol, both of whom you know, and this other person.
Okay.
And Yix, Steel Defender, is standing about 10 feet away, motionless, just standing there.
After this much questioning, I feel like I would have an idea that it was Yik based on Yik being a changeling.
How would you know she was a changeling?
Did she not tell me before?
No.
As far as I
Okay,
know,
well,
that never
Well,
came
then
up.
I have no idea. Then, as far as I know,
Oh.
this person could be hostile.
What you guys do know is that the other Yik was a mimic type thing.
Right. So, more reason to be suspicious, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can be as suspicious or stabby as you want to.
Can
This is your
anybody?
show.
Well, I just want to know how to get the fuck out of this hole
Yeah, I'm
or
asking if
reinvigorate
they found a
Talon.
way out.
Oh, speaking of which, you guys have entered this larger cavern because Brizzo. This
Yeah,
is
explain the cavern to him.
Yeah, this is my
the
cavern. My people.
This is the cavern that you had almost walked into, but you have, but you did not go the rest of the way here. I don't know if you guys had listened to my explanation beforehand, but this is a very large cavern. It's probably about a quarter the size of the cavern that has the fountain in it, but it's at least double the size of the cavern where you guys fought the hags. There's two dried up ponds. You can tell they're ponds just by the indentations in the floor. There's one that's we'll say it's in the southwest corner and one in the northeast corner. They're about as far away as they can be from each other. The one in the southwest corner, which is the one to your left, is going to have a line of 10 different, well, I'm going to say it would be 10 different statues of elves, but there's only like 3 or 4 of them still standing for the most part. But these elves have wings on their back. Brizzo, you immediately recognize them as Avriels. They're very elusive elves, but you've seen them probably beforehand. They're known to be fairly reclusive, but you've
So me as a dark elf, I wouldn't recognize them either.
no,
Really?
nope, not at all. You're familiar with high elves, drow, and what's the other one? Wood elves, I think is the other one in the player's handbook.
I feel like I'm
So,
understudy to answer this question, so let's be clear.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm just saying that-
I remember this area.
Yeah, you recognize these types of elves being called Avriels. You may not have ever met one face to face, but you're familiar with them enough to where it's like, oh, those are Avriels. Oh, they have statues down here. And then over to the other side, you see the aquatics, the statues of like the 8. There's 10 statue spots. 2 of them are collapsed, so there's like 8 statues of aquatic elves that lead down to the other northeast corner.
Do we have any vodka?
And
Are you
the
asking
floor.
if we have any vodka?
Look, important questions to
floor-
ask.
Yeah, the floor in here, you basically you've noticed for the first time, basically the center of the floor in here, where Cade, Errol, this person, and the Still Defender are standing. It's an area of the floor to where it doesn't even seem like it's natural cave. It actually looks like a mosaic tile or parts of a mosaic tiling on the ground here. Like it was actually a very flat worked surface, but it's a very small portion of it, but you can see like stone that is sort of like overgrown on top of. And I say grown, most stone doesn't really, but so, but that's just an indication of how long it has been since this has been inhabited. And there's another opening to this large cavern, like all the way on the other side. So.
Can we look around for a way to like refill the pools or ponds or anything? Like,
You
how
can
long
look
is it gonna
around.
take us to like stretch this room to the other opening? Like, what is the
That's
span?
it's a pretty long way. I'm gonna say it's about 150 feet or so across. No, actually, it'll be a little bit longer than that. It's about 200 feet across, and then it's about 250 feet wide as well. So it's a pretty big area, and it's a good 60 to 70 feet tall.
And there's no light coming from anywhere in particular.
Your party members.
My
Cade's
party.
got a torch.
Yeah.
We have
Cade's got a
Arrow.
torch.
a light up there.
Arrow
have a
and
torch.
Cade both have a torch. Varys is basically a natural torch light source.
I glow.
But yeah, that's where you guys are at.
Okay, and we can't make our way back towards old
Oh, you
boy that
totally
was
can.
telling us about the creature. Do we even want to consider that and going back and seeing if that was the fucking creature that we were supposed to like
Yeah.
eliminate
Yeah.
for this whole purpose? Can we do that? Can
Yeah.
I, make a suggestion?
Well, I feel like Cade's the one that asked us to do this, so like, hey, he's the one that said, "Let's go kill this creature," or "Let's go kill
No,
this."
no. We took a vote.
No,
on
that
killing
was
the creature.
actually you and Geist were
That-
gonna kill the creature.
And
And
it
I
no,
jumped
no,
in the
no,
hole and
no,
killed the
no.
creature. And now we
I mean, when we were at the fountain, Cade's the one
Correct,
that
we
told
took
us.
a vote.
Right. Well,
We took
all
a
I'm
vote.
saying is like, Cade's
Okay.
the one that said, "Hey, there's this thing." So
Yeah, but
So
Anyway.
let's make
Go
our way
back and
back
check.
there and see if Cade's in the possibly full fountain. We think about that. Can
That
I
was the
convince any of y'all to do that?
the fountain was taking the shape of whoever looked into it to talk.
Which was you.
And then it took Yik's form as well when she looked over.
I don't remember that
So,
part.
I think that's a good idea. Let's head back to the fountain and see if we've slain the monster.
Right, I want to know if this was the creature that was
Right. I think that's a
thing hostage.
Terrorizing.
Right.
Yeah, let's head back.
I want to know this dude's story. He's got stories to tell. I feel it.
So,
I feel like
Okay.
headed back.
that's a yes from 3 of us.
You guys are all heading back to the fountain then.
I'm for that. Yes.
Okay. Unless there's any things that you guys are wanting to do, I'm going to say that you guys are able to get back without any issue. You're just sort of backtracking your way there. Takes a little bit of time, probably, or so. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get back.
How long? Ish. It matters.
10 minutes.
Okay.
The snare flashlight, boy.
So
Yeah.
plus 6 health. Thank you. All
Yeah.
right.
Right. Covered
So,
bludgeoning
yeah.
damage.
Yeah, so it takes about 10 minutes to get back. As you guys are probably discussing, everything like that. You guys get back to
What
the
shoes do y'all
fountain.
wear on Sunday?
As you guys get back, you can see that the stream that you guys had fixed to come in there actually seems to be flowing actually pretty well. The pond itself, or not the pond, the
Fountain.
fountain. Thank you. Gosh, words are escaping me. The fountain. The fountain itself seems to be filling up a little bit, to where there's probably about 4 to 5 inches of water all around in it, but none of the other streams seem to be feeding into it yet. And this statue, like I said, that is above the fountain, is still just there. It's, it's got its hand up, seems to be looking up like at a sun or a moon or whatever. And, it has its long sword on its hilt with the other hand on there. You guys walk up to the fountain, and then this little glob of water seems to coalesce together and come together and make a very small looking elf on top of the water.
Oh, we made it back to the abyss. Fuck yeah.
And it's like, thank you, halfling and diluted elves and Master Drow. I can feel the presence of the hunter of the predator has stopped.
Hey, we killed him.
Feels
Yeah.
good it feels good that that the way or the ways are cleansed again.
So, would like to ask, does this allow us any access to leave this place?
I'm
Not
very
direct-
cautiously watching Bastard to see if he's gonna jump into the fountain again.
It's like,
Grab your hand.
Hold my hand. Grab my strong hand.
it does not give you any direct way. However, you could always go back through the way pond of which you entered but I have felt two other waypawns being activated. The one to the Suri, which is Master Drow's realm. Then the way to the what did I say their name was? To the Ruar, which is the realm of the Star Elves. Both have been activated, but neither has been completed. I have enough power to channel the flow into one of them.
Star elves.
Stars. Yep, down.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Nah, bro. I'm going
Man.
home. Fuck that. I vote for going home.
Yeah, you get outvoted.
All right, so crew, we're voting. Okay. So Bastard, we've got going back to the wild green. I've got
No, he wants to go to the darkness, right?
no. He
He's
said
a
home.
dark elf.
Okay. Well, dark elf. Okay, so the darkness. We've got one for the darkness. We got two for the stars. Geist, what do you vote?
3 for the stars.
Stars.
Okay, stars. I'm for the stars. And I'm sorry, whoever the hell you are. I don't know. So you don't feel vote.
Hey, stranger, you want to travel to the stars with us?
Yeah, Arrow
you a bitch.
also sort of says like the stars sound good, much better to me than going into the dark.
All right, so that's 5.
But then the little creature is all like, "So which way will it be, Master Drow?"
No.
Psst, bastard, that's you.
What? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say?
I said little up his butt and muppet
You're
him.
gonna make it to the stars.
What do we do?
What
do we do now?
the little water creature. The little water creature basically turned to you after they've all said that they wanted to go to the land of the Star Elves, and says, "Master Drow, which path would you like for me to open?"
I get to make this choice for everyone? Or they all just voted and chose their own?
5 of us voted for the stars. You voted for
Yeah,
the
but the
dark.
fountain, the fountain
you're
probably
the
only
only one
listens
that
to
Five of you
full
did
votes.
not
Master Drow
vote.
is apparently the leader here.
So,
It's because we're
Looks-
all deluded elves.
Little bitch elves.
Bro, I will stab you. Apparently, I'm an aggressive
Stab
fuck.
you in here.
I'm
Where we
gonna stab you
going?
first. Alright, let's go to the stars. I'll go with the party. We'll go to the
Yes!
stars. I've been home. I've been there. Like, I know it. It's kind of creepy and shit, but, you know, my uncle snores and shit. Whatever.
it's like,
Yes.
to the land of the Ruar, then.
To the
Very
room.
well. This will take some time. Please, it will drain some of the strength that I've recovered. Make yourselves rested for the time being. Yeah, then it sinks back into the thing, and then you can see that a little river starts trying to very slowly is coming out of the fountain, working its way down one of the paths of the the different ways, but it's moving very
Nice,
slowly
path.
where like it's maybe only moving like maybe 2 or 3 inches a minute, type thing. Like it's moving very slowly. And you can see the waters ripple on in the fountain and everything like that. But it's making this way. You guys at this point, we have a couple of options. You guys can take a long rest and we can call the game here for the day if you'd like, or if you'd like to, we can continue on and keep going. But I will tell you that it's going to take this probably a good 8 hours for it to be able to get to its location and activate what it needs to do.
So that means we could get a long rest
Long
and
rest.
keep going, right?
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you guys want to keep playing tonight, we can. But
I'm good
it's
with that.
not-
Well, I'm good. I know you got to work tomorrow too. So if you're good to keep going, then I'm good to keep going. So
I'm good. I'm good for about till 11 o'clock my time, which
Yep.
is an hour
too.
and 20 minutes. So I
Me
got
too.
an hour and 20 minutes. But
So we can do the rest and continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
'Cause we'll
do
level,
that.
right?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, whoever did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I am gonna.
Yeah, so we're gonna
step
level.
outside and smoke.
What do we get?
Okay.
1,000?
No. You-
Because we fought the Umber Hulk.
Nolan already, I think, added the experience
I
to the
killed
group.
them.
So all you have to do is do a long rest, and you'll level to level 5.
Yeah.
Unless you're Brizzo, sorry.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Socks.
All right, Brizzo. You guys are doing a long rest. Is that correct?
I think so. Yes.
All right, Brizzo. During your long rest, you feel like you wake up at some point, but you quickly realize that you're sort of like in a dream. You're like the entire world that you're in. There's just like this very hazy bit around you. You can't see the outsides, but what you do see is that you're where you remember being right before the lightnings came crashing down. One of the lightnings, right before the lightnings hit you, then you woke up, and then you were in these caves. The street seems full of festive elves that are doing some sort of celebration that you're trying to remember, but it just seems to go well, and you're up on like one of the stages performing. You're probably one of hundreds of different performers that are performing during this celebration. You may have even had a couple other people that performed with you, and in your dream they're just sort of like background people while you seem to be like the star of your own stage doing this. You remember you looking around, you see this big swath of elves through here. You look up, you see the castle of the stars above you. You see the different swan, like these swans that seem to be larger than humans that have or larger than horses that seem to have that are flying with elves on their backs, but it just seems out of reach. They're foggy, barely recognize them. And then you hear these loud crack, 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 and then from above, you see these lightning strikes hit the ground, and these elves disappear, like they disintegrate, but there's nothing left of them. And people start running, scattering. You don't remember, and you're sitting there still playing while all this is happening, and you get the idea that oh, maybe I should run. And as you think that, you look up and you see this lightning arcing towards you, and then you wake up out of your dream, basically in the middle of your rest. That's what. And then you wake up basically almost probably in a cold sweat at this point, but you will have gotten your long rest. It's like your memories are starting to come back to you a little bit more.
This is what I was doing leading up to that. Leading up to showing up here.
Yeah, and at this festival, you've seen all of the different types of elves there. You saw the elves, some of the aquatic elves walking by you. You saw the dark elves, probably having their own stage somewhere else that they were doing stuff, bartering off to the side. You've seen elves that have like silvery skin, seem to be very festive. They had, flower, lays of flowers. That the sun elves with golden skin, that with their robes of their scholarly robes and everything like that. The different wild elves that their skin is almost green. They seem to have their hair is almost like vines and stuff like that. It's very thick and braided and everything. They wear a little loincloth. So you got the wood elves with their
Yes.
beautiful copper skin, that's that seem to be one with nature at all times. That they even have little fairies flying around them, well, seeming to do their bidding. You see the winged elves of the Abriel, walking around. Very few, probably flying around every now. But then everywhere you look, you see, because you see the star elves with their mithril-looking skin that seem to lord over most of the other elves. They are definitely seem to be the favored Orlon. And then you also
Am I
see
wearing mail from them?
yeah,
This
and then
Star
and then you had seen some of the very furry type of elves to where like they had like hair coming covering their entire body that you would almost say they looked bestial and stuff like that, but they were definitely elves. So you saw all these types of elves in this fest for all of the stuff, and you seem to remember them from your dream. But like I said, you get your full rest, but you wake up and you feel slightly ajarred by yeah. So it's just like a glimpse of your past life and everything like that.
Am I the only one awake?
And whoever was probably on watch time, I will just say, who would have had third watch?
I say probably me, Bastard, because I don't even sleep. I just meditate.
Okay, yeah. So Bastard would have been up at the time, but other than that, I'd say everybody else was probably sleeping. Well, Bastard and Errol.
Okay. So, where has this fountain made it to? Has it started
At
filling
this
the
point,
pond? Do we know?
Yeah, it seems to have made a stream that's gone off into the distance or off into the dark. Because I'm going to say you guys probably camp near the fountain, is my assumption, right, guys?
Yes.
Okay. And the stream seems to have made its way past where you see it into another arm of the cavern somewhere else. But and then as everybody is waking up, of the elf made of water is so like it has been done, Master Drow. The way to the Ruar has been opened, but I can only sustain it for a short time unless it is finished from the other side.
What do you mean finished from the other side?
It is the ponds that power me and my ability to create the ways. It is not normally done this way. It is draining me very fast. You must hurry if you wish to use that way pond.
Can I hear this as well?
Oh yeah, speaking in Elven. I mean,
Okay.
everybody's now woken up.
So I would suggest that it seems that if we were to go to the other side and restore maybe the strength to the other side of the portal, that this portal would be maintained indefinitely.
It's like,
That's what
that would be that is the way of the way ponds. Yes.
There we go. So I suggest we leave soon.
Okay. I'm in. I will grab everybody's hand and we will jump in together.
Oh my
Man,
God.
I'm riding you in like a pony.
Jump in together. All right. I think you have a misunderstanding of the way this works, Bastard. Is that the fountain itself doesn't take you anywhere. The
We have
stream
to follow the
has
stream.
has led to another one of those ponds, and it's the ponds at the different places throughout this cave system that
Oh,
are
you're
the
wrong.
portals.
I'm jumping straight in that pond.
Straight into the fountain.
We're
No,
just
I'm
gonna
kidding,
place
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
And that little water thing is all like, Master Drow, are you okay?
There's something I can help you with, Master Drow. Maybe a math.
No, that's fine. I'm just with you guys. Yeah, let's follow the pond. So, is everybody in for following the pond? Even you,
Let's do it.
stranger?
Yeah, let's go.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger, you coming with or what?
Let's go.
Hey,
All
John,
right.
check your messages.
Okay, messages.
Messages.
Side quest.
No, don't start a new model. Not yet.
Okay, so you guys wake up, as I said, and then the drow and then the water creature had said what it said, and then you guys are looking, and you're all getting ready to leave, and that this weird man that you guys had been traveling with is gone, and now Yik seems to be back.
Hey.
What's up, bro?
So, where did the man go off to that we had no idea where they were?
What man?
Oh yeah, this again. I'm just gonna throw my pack and start following the stream. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, let's go. I'm assuming at this point I feel safe, so I'm good. Let's
I
go.
didn't wake up with a sore butt.
Right, exactly. I didn't wake up with a sore boat. I didn't wake up with a knife in my side.
There
I'm
was
good.
no other
Solid.
man. There was only me.
Oh, okay. So one of your skills or spells, I see.
I don't
Let's
know
move.
that I'd call it a spell.
Let's go.
And as I do that,
The
I keep
portal's not gonna
following
be open
Cade.
forever. I'm imagining like a Stargate style portal too. Like I know it's a fountain that rises to the ceiling, but I'm still imagining like a Stargate style water portal.
Yeah, it's basically a water portal on the ground there. It's when you follow the stream, you follow it around a couple curves in the down the tunnel ways. It's a good, it takes you guys a good 10 minutes to go from. Yeah, it's a pretty good hike. I mean, from where you guys are at to this.
Exploring.
And when you get there, it opens up into another large cavern all the way to the basically the north. It's almost the way that you guys had gone before, but just a little bit to the left of the path that you guys had taken before, and it leads all the way up and opens up into a singular cave, large cave that has a couple of other passages to the left and the right, but the stream leads straight all the way to the back of the cave to where there's pond. Still hasn't filled up completely. I mean, it's a 10 by 10. Actually, it's about a 20 by 20 pond normally, but I'd say it's only about halfway filled up, so it's only about 10 by 10 right now. But you can see that it would normally be bigger. And in this area, the floors actually look very
lava.
just yeah, that's a fun show. I don't know if you've been watching it or not.
I was thinking about it. Is it good?
It's better on mute.
Really?
I don't know. I like the commentary. It's fine.
There's anything like that Asian show where they do crazy stunts and the fucking Asian guy's
MXC?
sticking on the whole time? Yeah, MXC.
Yeah, I love that show.
It's very family friendly.
Okay. Alright, sorry, John. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. D&D is all about getting on sidetracks. I'm not.
That. Which is good.
But yeah, this like I said, there's another path to the left and right, but the stream's not leading that way. It just straight up. The floor here, to where in the other one that there was an area where you could sort of see the mosaic of the floor. Here, there's like no chance. Like it seems like the floor here has just been. I mean, for lack of a better description, it almost looks like cratered and stuff like that. This floor is definitely in worse condition than any other of the places that you'd seen. Like the stream almost couldn't even make its way through it, but it had found a way to trickle around. Yeah, it's this room looks like a disaster area, like a bomb or something exploded in here. but years, hundreds, millions, thousands, whatever years ago, I mean, you're in no danger of anything extra. It's just that there's no statues in here like you had seen in some of the other places. Like this place looks just very much like almost like a natural cave, but even flooring is very uneven. So,
Huh. So that explains that. Anyway, can we see the portal?
yeah, like I said, it's only about a 10 by 10 foot portal at this point. That's it's about half the size that it normally would be. But the water is flowing into it, and it seems to be sustaining. But you can see that it is when I say gradually shrinking, like it's just it's a 10 by 10 portal. Then probably in about another 20 minutes, it'll be like a 9 by portal. And another 20 minutes will be like an 8 by 8 type thing. So it's slowly shrinking, but it seems to be holding its size right now.
All right, I'll walk over the portal.
Okay.
Bastard goes face first. Let's do it.
Okay. So
I'm there with you, so.
you guys get there. Bastard, you say you just dive face first into the water. You dive face first into the water. You come out on the other side in this this natural looking pond. As you sort of like belly flop onto the ground on the side, and then when you like roll over and up, I'm going to describe this as you guys all walk through. But the next one through, who's going next?
I'll go next.
Okay, so you walk through next, like right after Bastard took a dive right in front of you. Then after Cade,
I'll go.
Geist goes through.
I sent
Yo.
my Steel Defender.
Correction,
Very
guys,
well.
dance it through.
No, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
I'll dance through.
Guys, running man's backwards through it.
Okay, so yeah, you guys make your way. I'm assuming everybody goes through eventually, right? Is there anybody that's staying by that does not wish to go?
Going.
I'm going.
Okay, so all of you eventually get through. Basically, what you all see, and you all see it as you arrive in the order you see. Where you are at, Brizzo, you recognize this as basically being the center of the square of, or basically the center of the lower city of the Star Eld. This area, there's this natural glade here. It's a couple of trees in this glade. However, these trees look very overrun, unkept. They look old, very knotted and everything like that. But then through like above in the trees, you can see what looks like four. I'm not going to say. I guess they're sort of like arms, but they're more like pillars. But they sort of curve. Think almost of the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. So they sort of go up and over in an archway, but they don't go the rest of the way. There's an open to where like almost all four of them eventually meet at the top, but there's a missing. So all four of these different archways that go, partial archways that almost meet up at the top. And then up like in the middle section of that arch, sort of looking up, it almost looks like you're looking up through like water. Like if you've ever been in the bottom of a pool and you've just sort of looked up through the water thing to where it's sort of ripply and you can sort of see the outlines of what's above you. That's what it almost looks like.
That's
looking
a
up
fucking
through,
jam right
through
there.
the streets down here seem deserted. There doesn't seem to be anything. You don't hear birds whistling. You don't hear, the sounds of. I mean, the only sound that you hear is like the gentle breeze, like fluttering through the leaves of the tree and stuff like that. Other than that, it's completely silent. It seems like. You see off to the sides, or the other, these giant-looking doves or swans or something like that, but they're not living creatures. They just seem to be those, large transports of some sort, but they look very abandoned, unused. But they look like I said, they look like swans, and ducks, and geese, and that type of stuff is the look of them.
Waterfowl.
Yeah, basically. Wait a second. I'll show you what a couple of them look like. Pictures.
Can we put them in a box? With
No, they're very large. You would not be able to.
I mean, turn them
Can we
into a
ride
box.
them?
No.
Can we ride them?
Used to be able to.
Yeah,
They were transports for people.
I don't know if that's gonna be right.
Well,
okay,
it's
if you
just
go
so
closer.
barely. Turn
Yeah.
it downward.
I can see that.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's like a swan boat. That's
Let's
great.
go.
Yeah.
Who's coming with me? I'm going. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Each one looks like they could
Shuttle.
hold maybe about 5 people. At max, you know?
Well, we've got 7, so let's split 4 and 3. Who wants to?
Yeah. Like I said, they look very
I'll-
unkept. Like the masts on them seem broken or off to the side or something like that.
You're gonna have to tell us whether or not it's actually shipworthy there, Varys.
Well,
yeah.
I will go take a look and see if we can.
Well, they're a little bit away. You like see them.
Okay.
Because you guys have come
So right
through-
now we're just like appearing at this arch
Well,
tree.
what you are appearing in is this like little glade area to where there's this natural pond here, and then there's these trees. So you're like in a central area, sort of that this way pond is at, and then off to the side where you can't see the bases of those 4 different half arches, but you can see sort of like the tops of them going up over the trees and stuff like that. But they seem to be quite a ways away, to where if you walked maybe 10 football fields to the left, you might run at the base of one of the arches or stuff like that. Does that make sense about like how
Sure.
big and everything? But this is sort of what you see, and there's and all the buildings seem to be sort of spiral type looking buildings, to where like we houses that are mostly square, even A-shaped.
Right.
These ones all seem like spiraled spiral shapes and everything like and everything. So it's a very different type of looking place.
Is there like a path for water to travel on the ground that we can see?
That's a good question.
Yeah, there is. When you're looking around it, it's sort of been like behind you, type thing. That it almost looks like there's a little natural waterfall that would come into this glade. However, though, there's no water really running from it, and at this point, you can see that or I should say that there is a little bit of water, a very small trickle. There's not enough to actually be a full water for it. And when I say a waterfall, it would only be like a little into the back of the pond. You also now notice that the water that you guys have just came out of is pretty stagnant for the most part. Not just stagnant. There's it just has that feeling of there feels like if there was any life or anything happening here, that this would be a place that full of mosquitoes, but there is none.
That is
So
a
the
fucking
water,
thing.
yeah. But yeah, that's the area. That's what you've come into.
I guess I'll do an investigation around to see if I can find a way forward for us towards the water. I guess you said it was coming over like a dead waterfall, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, a very small, nothing much. I say it's
I'm going that way because that's the way of the water.
Okay, so you're gonna walk around like the.
Yeah, I want to walk around and make sure and see if kind of see anything of like note standing out, tracks, scorch marks,
Okay.
drag marks.
Yes. Give me a perception check.
$25.
Okay. You're walking around the and as you're sort of like looking around, investigating, I'm assuming everybody else is around getting their bearings straight, and you've already sort of gone to go look around. You do notice that you almost walk into something anticipating here since you saw no life. There's like the remnants, or there's like a fresh spider web that has been made.
Spiders.
And
Wonderful. Yeah, my favorite.
Always.
yeah, a fresh spider web that has been made between like two of the trees, and this would have been
How big?
It's almost transparent, but it would have been big enough to actually catch and hold a human-sized creature.
Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out the bow, the short bow with the fire arrows, just cause. Exactly.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna continue my walk, but I mean, having hit that and already dealt with large spiders, which I'm not real fan of.
Um,
I like that you looked over your shoulder just to be sure.
Brizzo, now that you're here, a memory comes back to you that's like, yes, we're in the mithril city of Aldranus.
Do I announce this to anybody?
It's just a name to that you it's like the
Aldranus.
mithril city. Yeah, the mithril city of Aldranus.
Mithril City of Aldrana.
But
Which apparently has been lost to the spiders. Anywho,
Apparently. Spiders.
Just saying, should have went to the fucking dark room.
I'd rather be able to see something coming at me.
I have a,
Sorry.
I have a torch just for
So,
you.
I would like to say, like, oh, go ahead, sorry.
oh no, it's fine. I was gonna say that I mispronounced. It's the mithril city of Aldenalis or Aldenalis. So I'm just gonna say it called
All into
Aldranus.
Alice. Got it. All
But,
into Alice.
Cade, Varys, Geist. Each of you can make an intelligence check.
Oh lord.
Not good.
Now, what I'm going to have you do before you tell me the answer, this intelligence check is going to be done a little bit differently, to where whatever your intelligence score is, you roll your d20, and if you roll below what your intelligence score is, you
Okay.
I
Roll
rolled-
equal to mine.
I did too. Yeah, I rolled equal to what mine is. So, I rolled a 9. My intelligence is low.
Rolled an 18.
okay. Something about what Brizzo said sounds familiar to you, but you just can't quite place it.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
What are you guys wanting to do?
So
I'm
I
not
would
way
like
to the waterfall, so
Okay. I would also like to announce to the group and at least kind of say what I'm thinking. I think that we should check out the water. I have a feeling that this waterfall will have something to do with restoring the portal.
mm-hmm.
We should totally check out the rest of the area before moving on to immediately restoring the portal. We could
I would
choose
like
to
half the way
restore the
back.
portal and then check out the area, but I think we should again take a vote. Let's see what the group thinks. So
Yeah, we should definitely restore our way back before we go explore.
Yeah, that's my thought process.
So that's 2 for that. Bastard.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Okay. Rizzo.
Literally missed about the last 30 seconds, so someone
Okay.
tell me.
Go up the waterfall.
So do you want to
Or
go to the
what?
waterfall? Yeah, which we think will possibly restore the portal, or do you want to go exploring first?
Hmm.
And then Errol, same question.
Yeah,
Well, let's
it'd
see
be
what's
good-
this
It'd be
waterfall.
good to find to secure a way out of here if we need to be, but this place is creepy.
Okay, Yick. What's your thoughts?
Is it Yick? I don't think Yick's with us anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Change
Yeah,
it.
it's a female yick.
oh, okay.
Like,
Missed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yes, being able
Rather
to
the
leave
stranger disappear. is bad.
quickly would be in our best interests. Although there's
Okay.
much here that we could explore after we secure our
Beachhead.
yeah.
All right.
all right, everybody other than Cade, go ahead and give me a perception check. I'm assuming everybody is like looking around a little bit. Cade's already given me his. He found the evidence of spiders.
Which I'll go ahead and share with the group. Because, yeah, nobody likes to be surprised by spiders. Because I
18.
imagine more than one person would notice me pull out my freaking bow.
All right, 13. 13 from Barrett.
What was this? Oh, my droppers, yeah. Put that up there. There's stuff up there, okay.
I got a 13 as well.
I got too much shit.
What was it? 5.
I got a 9.
Shit.
Yick.
18.
All right. Everybody else only sees what I've described, except for Yick. I'm going to say that you've probably gone over to look at your Steel Defender for just a moment to check, see how it's doing, maybe even go talk to Errol. As you like probably turn to go say something to Errol, you look off, just sort of like behind him, and you see what looks like a elf, except for it's completely stark white, and then it disappears sort of just around a corner, because you saw it outside of the little Central Park area that you're in, over by one of the spiral looking establishments, and it just seems to have, you saw it for a second and then it just sort of like disappeared out of sight as it seemed to like go like around the back of that building.
So that's a ghost. We're not going to chase that. I mean, unless you guys want to.
Well, I'm the only one that saw it, right?
You are the only one that saw it. Cade found the spiders. You found the evidence of what I just, whatever you
And
want to
they were
say.
in opposite directions.
Yes, yes. So he would have been walking around to the back of the pond. You were probably, yeah, you would have been somewhere else, not walking around to the back of the Steel Defender and Arrow.
I would highly recommend we follow Mr. Cade quickly.
In the opposite direction of the ghost.
I don't know what I saw, but it was something.
I'll take spiders over ghosts. You can squash a spider. I don't know shit about squashing ghosts.
Okay. All right. So you guys are going to basically around the pond and try to follow the trickled stream to wherever its base is at or wherever it's originated from. Is that correct?
Nah.
I don't know, I'm pretty
Alright.
curious about this ghost. I feel like it could probably tell us more about this shit than anything. Spiders don't
Yeah, I wanna-
talk, bitches.
I wanna ask, what did you see? Why are you so insistent on following Cade, Yick? What's happening?
Well, I saw something that was white, like really sheet white.
Like
And
Wisconsin, like a Wisconsin native or something?
Like,
Like a
what
Wisconsin
is
native
this
in the
with
middle.
Wisconsin? Like snow. Like fresh
Yeah, okay.
snow.
Like Jon
and,
Snow?
And it went.
You know nothing.
It
Winter
went back
already
around that
storming.
Spire area. I don't know if there was more than one. Hence, I don't feel like engaging.
Yeah, seems.
Okay. So, I don't know, man. Feeling kind of stabby.
Well,
Somebody else feeling kind of
Alright,
stabby?
like I kind of want to chase this thing because I feel like it's the thing that we've seen.
well,
It's the only
also-
moving thing we've seen, right?
Yeah, but we
Other
also,
than water.
we
It's
also
not
all
we, it's only Yick.
right. We also all agreed to go and restore this waterfall to try and restore a way home.
Yes.
Restore a way home,
Yeah.
and then we can go check out the ghost.
Then
That's
you guys can go murder hobo on the entire population of said Alan Thomas or whatever. Alan Alice.
guys. When are you gonna join us, man? Come on.
That's not how my
Alright.
character plays, man. He doesn't kill everybody.
All right.
Does it just
Which
check them into the
direction are
river?
you guys tell me where you're going.
I'm
We're
going
going to
to cave.
restore the water.
Yeah, how
Alright.
far away was this white?
Waterfall. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm going that way. I don't know how far away it was now.
Well, because I could send my imp over there to check it out.
It disappeared behind the spire. I don't know where it's at now.
Okay, I'm gonna send my imp behind the spire. See what it
Okay.
looks like.
Your imp goes flying over to the spire. The rest of you guys are probably walking to go follow Cade.
Yeah, we're still going.
All right.
Oh, stabby, stabby.
Just want him to go have a peek see.
Yep.
Just a peek, see?
Just a peek see.
Okay.
A second. I have to look at something real quick. See if Imp would see anything. All right. And you're in telepathic communication with your imp.
Yeah. Up
Even
there.
as it dies.
All right. So your imp goes over to go look over there. I'm assuming it's visible. And as it goes around to look over there, it seems to be gone for a moment or two. You know, looking around, and then you get this sense of surprise.
Surprise butt stuff.
And then all of a sudden in your mind, you get, give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, I left the bush alone. It's the bush of unspeakable horrors.
12.
Also known as
Bushes
the
of love,
No,
Bushes
no,
of
wait,
love.
sorry. 14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this brush is dead. Oh.
You take 6 points of psychic damage.
I do or my imp does?
You do. Your
I do.
your imp took more.
Spoken, your imp is dead.
And
Is my imp dead?
how many hit points does your imp have? Is it just a standard imp, or does it get
Standard
anything?
10. Yeah.
If it's standard imp, that was only 10 hit points. Yeah, it'd be dead.
It's dead.
If it only had 10 hit points as a standard imp does, then yes. It seems to have whatever it was surprised, and then all of a sudden, this psychic wave traveled between it and you, and
Hurt like a son bitch.
it gave you a bit of a headache for a moment, but you passed your saving throw, so half damage. Your imp did not.
Imp.
I will inform everyone that my imp is dead. Whatever white thing was that killed my imp and gave me quite a headache.
More reason to move away from it.
Okay.
Let's secure our escape, maybe, and then let's go stabby. So,
Then stabby. Alright.
Okay. As you guys continue following Cade, you can see that there is this river, and it seems to be I won't even say it's an aqueduct is actually what it is, but it's like just right above the ground. So it's not a very tall aqueduct. I'm not talking about.
Oh, so it's like a Roman kind of.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not like the big Roman. It's really high. This one's literally only probably about knee high, and you can follow it. It has a very small trickle through it, and you guys are walking through this the park area still some, and eventually you guys leave the park area, following this aqueduct. At this point, you're going to be entering, and the road continues just straight, and so does the aqueduct.
So we're on a road.
You will be if you guys want to keep following. I'm not going to force you guys to make that decision. But what you can see, as you get to the edge of the forest, or not the forest, the park area that's sort of overgrown into like a little mature forest here, that this aqueduct continues going straight, but then it actually goes down a little bit to where it goes low enough to where if people wanted to, they could step over it. And actually, I lied. It goes up to where you could walk on, make more sense.
Underneath it.
Yeah, and you can see that it goes into what looks like this. Imagine what looks like a well, except for the well wall is built up a good 15-foot high.
Like a reservoir.
Yeah, sort of like a reservoir, but it's that it seems to still be like a big spiral, like most of the other buildings here. But the well wall is just like a really tightly wrapped spiral of like some alabaster type of material. There's probably a hole at the top of the well there to where the aqueduct leads to, and maybe something that feeds the aqueduct. But
Okay.
Whatever it is doesn't seem to be producing much water. And that is going to be a good 300 yards, or about 300 feet, sorry. Wrong
That's like
measurement. 300 feet past the edge of the forest or the park.
About a football field.
Yeah, but there are going to be buildings on either side. Does seem that when I say buildings, they're those spiral-looking buildings of various sizes, and but this road that's leading this way, because the aqueduct sort of goes down the center of it, is almost like a double wide road to where each side of the road is big enough for a good 10 people to walk abreast of each other. So if you want to say 40 foot wide on one side of the road, 40 foot wide on the other side of the road, it's right in the middle. There's those buildings on the other side, so it's a really wide road.
I'm gonna continue to try to follow the road towards the reservoirs, but I'm definitely gonna be to one side.
Yeah.
Kind of hopping from building to building in shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Is there
you guys
anything
are
on the
walking, yeah, give me perceptions.
17.
16.
All right.
ooh, a nat 20. So 27.
Awesome. All right. Anybody that got below a 15 really doesn't see anything other than what I described. If you got from a 15 to a 20, what you see is that, and you'll see different different of you will see different ones of these. Is that you see some more of these stark white elves, perhaps in the buildings or in the like some window places of the buildings there. And then then when you take like a double look, they're not there anymore. But each one of you that's got anywhere from a 15 to a 20, at least see one of those, probably two of them at different points. There's no, like I said, there's no sounds happening. Who had above a 21 or 21 or above?
This guy. I had a 27, not 20.
Okay, you're 21 or above. You don't necessarily see these white figures. What you have noticed is that on this aqueduct that's going up there, you see a hint of a spider web here or there, and then all the way up at the top of there, you can see that around the very top of the well, there seems to be a very thick spider web all the way around the top of it, almost thick enough to where it almost looks like a continuation of the alabaster spiral. And on top of that spire, you actually see the hairy foot or the hairy leg of at least one spider, and then maybe another coming around the other side of the thing, but it's far enough
Hairy.
away. Oh yeah.
Okay. So
And these are very large spiders. These are spiders that are each of these spiders is at least the size of a horse.
That's a large spider. God damn.
Yeah.
I'll bring enough arrows for that.
I'm going to inform my group and say,
Fuck those.
damn it! Fuck! Why? Whoever's got fire better fucking pull that shit out now. Fucking why? No.
I do believe
I
Kate
don't want no
drew
damn
his
spider.
fire arrows when we got here.
I'm gonna say you're still a good 80 feet away from the base of the well. So, and then the well itself, goes up a good about 60 feet or so.
Spider webs are
so-
flammable, yeah.
They can be, perhaps, maybe.
I don't know if I want to instigate these fuckers. No.
But
Spiders.
You guys wanted something to stab.
You've seen at least two.
Stab, stab, stab.
Stabby.
This is different, okay? This is different. There's ghosts, okay? We could go stab those.
You don't see those though. You see the goddamn hairy-legged spiders
So,
above
how
us.
tall are the buildings that we're kind of weaving our ways through?
How tall? Is
Yeah.
that what you asked? They vary in sizes. Like they don't necessarily have roofs, like the flat roofs. They all go up into like spiral points, but some of them go as tall as 60 or 70 foot tall. Other ones are only 20 foot tall.
I,
and there's a variety of them.
Can I climb to see if I can get a better view of the main well?
Yeah, you can go over to one of the. Well, you have a couple options. Are you wanting to climb the aqueduct, or are you wanting?
No. Not the main
Okay.
aqueduct. Nope. Just like one of the buildings close by, but not like super close, one that I can still like maybe maintain some stealth coming up the backside of the building.
Okay, well, like I said, the closest buildings are going to be at least 40 foot one side or the other of the well, right? Because I said that the road each side is about 40 foot, right? So, and the well itself seems to be like a 10 foot by 10 foot type of thing, but it's circular. But yeah, so you could go over to buildings, try to climb it. I'll say that one of those buildings is one of the taller ones, probably closer to 70 to 80 foot tall.
Well, yeah, I've got the boots that allow me to climb up walls. and spider walls.
That's true. Yeah,
So-
you just walk right up. No problem.
I'd like to try to stay stealthy about it too, so I'm trying to stay like kind of in the shadow.
Okay. So Cade goes over and just starts to walk up one of the walls of one of the buildings. Anything else any of you would like to do?
Let's see.
I'm gonna start searching the buildings and robbing everything.
Are you gonna go into the building? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's ghosts in there. You gotta know this, right?
One of the buildings goes in one of them. They don't necessarily have doors. They have archways that you can walk through, stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like they actually have doors that close. They're just open archways to these things, so that's very easy for you to walk into. So that's where Bast is. I know where Cade is. Varys, Geis, Yik.
I'm gonna cast False Life myself.
Okay.
What is it? What are you casting? Well, I'm sorry.
False
say-
Life.
False
Do
life.
that now.
All right, Varys, what are you wanting to do?
Extra 6.
Man. What does false life do? I'm sorry, I'm just curious.
It gives me a D4 plus 4 health.
Okay.
For 1 hour.
For 1 hour. Shit. I don't know what I want to do. Okay. Well.
You're not in combat. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but like, I want to.
looking
So, we've got to restore this water, and I feel like the aqueduct is the only way to restore this water, but there's fucking spiders that way, so I want to try and convince the group that we've got to make our way. Hey, we've got to make our way. Obviously, Bastard isn't here, so I can't do anything about him, but we've got to make our way to the aqueduct, which, hey, by the way, I see spiders. I feel like we've got to do something about those if we're going to restore our way back to the portal.
Yeah,
So-
their webbing could potentially be blocking the stream. We'll have to check.
I was gonna roll a history check for the area as well, John.
Okay. Roll your history. You're gonna have to roll good because this is
20.
super ancient. Modified 20 or nat.
Modified.
Okay. What are you sort of wanting to get out of it? I mean, other than what I have described as far as it goes, I know Brizzo a little bit about what she remembers from being here. This would be well before probably any of the histories that you read would have even been written for the most part.
Just
But is
a-
this where I was performing?
like an I'm looking for age. Like how old?
You have never even heard of things like this. Like whatever they have done from here, it's either something from the future that you could never imagine, or it's something from such an ancient past that there's no record of it.
Okay.
I mean, just
Yeah.
Brizzo, what are you wanting to do?
Does anything look familiar to me other than outside of a dream? Like, does any of it-
Everything looks. Now that you're walking through here, everything looks familiar. You're actually like walking by, and you see one of these elves sort of go into a building, you know, like, and disappear into a building for a second, and but then for a moment you swear it's some, you know, it looks so familiar to you, and then you actually like turn, probably stop and look around, and then you look off to the side, and not necessarily this street that you're on, but you recognize it, that maybe the next street over is actually the inn that you were staying at when you were performing, and you know exactly that you were there, and you know that one street over, one of the buildings right over there was where you were staying. Like, it is like you were just here yesterday, or well, a couple days ago.
Before the spiders
I-
took over, right?
Probably so. So I think I'll choose to inform people that this is something that is familiar to me, and that I'd like to go see maybe if I can see anything that is recognizable to me from when I was there.
Yeah, so that's what she says. All right, Cade.
Yes.
No, I'm going to go back with you, Brizzo, here. So what are you wanting to do, Brizzo? So you're going to go off. and
I'm
go
gonna
look-
approach the inn that I was
Okay,
familiar
so you
to me.
go walk off to go look into one of those buildings.
I would not suggest that getting separated would be a good choice right now.
I'm the only one that recognizes a fucking thing here, so follow me.
Well, I think
You've gone walking.
and one other, right?
I've
Feel the-
started walking towards
right?
the end.
Yeah. Cade
Yep.
or Varus. I'm sorry, you were saying you're wanting to do something real quick.
No, I was saying that we also, me and I don't remember what else it was, but we also feel this place is familiar. So we do recognize the place, but not.
It's
You had
Well, then.
said, yeah, you had said that it feels familiar earlier. So whatever it was,
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
all right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Cade, you'd walked up the building. You're walking up it.
Yeah, try to stay in the shadow.
Yeah, you're probably staying on the opposite side of the building from the well. I'm going to assume because there doesn't seem to be like any shadow. There doesn't like you don't even necessarily see the sun here, and that's another thing that you now recognize. There doesn't seem to be like a direction of light source to where there's any sort of shadow. Everything just seems to be of a
Well, that sounds good. Yeah.
illuminated, but not like super bright. It's almost
Moonlight.
it's almost like an hour right before twilight sets in to where the sun's setting type thing. So it's fairly bright, but like from everywhere. There's no direction of sunlight.
Okay. Just trying to keep
Uh,
myself, I guess, shielded from the spider leg fucking up.
Yeah. So you'll be walking up that way, and as you walk up that way, give me a perception check. Way to the top.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my way to the roof as best I can.
Okay. The roof's like a
24.
point, so they're not like flat roofs. They come to like a point thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
But 24. So you get all the way up to the top. You're around. You see the two spiders that Varus saw, but then you actually see that there's another two more. So there's a total of 4 spiders, but they were not necessarily all around the well. You can actually see like 2 of them inside the well as well. Than the 2 that Varus saw that were sort of outside. But one other thing that you see is that you sort of like look up a bit, and how I had described where those arches come up, and then they're sort of like looking up through water type thing. You look up, and you're still like looking up through water for a second through those arches. And you see this something moving up there, almost like it's like something flying. And it's large, but you can't really tell the bottom of it. It's almost like seeing the bottom of the hull of a ship type thing. And it does seem to be moving slowly in a downwards direction.
huh.
But it has not crested or gone through that area that where it looks like the surface. It's still well above you.
But slowly.
Yeah. Bastard, you've gone into a building to loot. You walk into this building. This particular building that you walk into is a store full of different crystals. The crystals are all basically, think of like one of those new age stores that we have nowadays, except for these crystals are large crystals that they all seem to be just displayed on the shelves as if, you know, the store was open. You see a elven lady sort of walk across the floor, probably a good 20 feet in front of you. Doesn't even look over at you, and you can tell that when you see her, that you can actually see through her to the wall behind her and everything like that. There's no counter or anything like that, but and all the crystals seem to be like on the like spiral display cases, for lack of a better word. You know, they all seem like there's miniature versions of the larger buildings, you know. and the
Okay.
crystals displayed all over.
All right. Do I see Narsil laying around anywhere? Because I'm ready to
what?
command. I'm ready to command these fucking ghosts in the name
You
of
see-
Gondor.
I don't understand what you said. A Narsil? What's a Narsil?
The
Sword
Narsil
of
is
the King of Gondor.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was refashioned into Andoril, and come on, man, Lord of the Rings, you don't know this?
Hey, I'm tired.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to get attention of the ghost lady.
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna attempt to get the attention of the ghost lady. I'm gonna holler for her, like, hey yo, bitch.
All right, you holler at the ghost,
When did we start playing
Very-
redneck D&D?
and it turns to you, and all it says, and it says in Elven, like, Drow, would you like to buy anything?
Okay, well, I got lots of gold that I robbed off people, so I could probably buy some stuff. What do you
And-
have to offer me?
Drow, would you like to buy anything?
What do you have to offer me?
Drow, would you like to buy anything?
Son of a bitch.
Consisting of
Alright.
pattern,
Is
yeah.
this like
And then
a WoW
it begins-
NPC or something?
It begins to float over to you.
Oh,
Where it's no longer walking, and it comes
Broken.
and it becomes right up to like inches away from you. So like, Drow,
Would be a good time to leave.
thing, and you can see at this point that the skin, even though it's transparent and stuff like that, that it while it looks smooth and everything like that, that it almost looks like plastically smooth, like it's almost been melted, and everything, but it's transparent. And then the rest of her, you do then realize that as opposed to her arm being completed, like right here, it just seems like a good portion of it is missing, and you can see like the skeletal bone sort of there.
Okay.
The robes at this point, now that she's closer to you, seem burnt and singed pretty good. And you can see that if she had both of the eyes like real, like one of them would have been popped, and the other one is still like looking at you. And it's like, Drow, would you like to buy anything?
Yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna go away now.
Gonna hit the road. you know?
Pull out your proton pack.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
And then it comes, it moves around, and now it's standing between you and the door. And it's still saying, Drow, would you like to buy anything?
Just say yes. Just say
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, let's go.
What the fuck are you getting us into?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm buying some shit though.
God damn it, I'm
Just gonna be
halfway up,
stuck
I'm a
in a
block away.
Ghost
God damn
pyramid
it.
scheme.
Pretty sure we're going the other way by now. So
It's like, Drow, would you like to buy anything? As it's standing
it.
there, and its other eye begins throbbing a little bit, like
Throbbing,
pulsating.
bro, just
Uh,
put the
the
gold on the
it's
table and
not
walk away, man. Come on.
Okay, I'm just gonna can I just walk through the door?
Yeah, that seems like a good
Uh,
choice.
You can
You're gonna
walk
walk
through
through
her
it?
through the
Oh.
door. If you like.
Oh god.
Don't get slimed,
standing
Tommy. You're gonna get slimed.
I'm about to get slimed.
All right, you're gonna walk through her.
Actual physical contact.
Oh my god.
All right. You attempt to, or you take a step to walk. You make a charisma save, please.
Notice how he said you
I
please
don't
make a
have
save?
any-
Like you need to make a save or
Yeah,
you dead.
Yeah,
What was that?
I have shit. Ooh, I rolled a 19 though.
Not bad.
So you got a 19.
Not
Yeah.
possessed this time, maybe.
Okay, so you walk through this, and then as you sort of like this cold sensation just go through your entire body, and and then you see like these flashes of like this, like you're living the life of this lady in this place to where she was standing in this, or she was in her crystal shop here, talking to another elven patron at some point when the lightning starts coming down, and then you can see the lightning, and that she steps out of the shop and gets like hit with bolt lightning, but not directly. It's like it just sort of like she catches the edge of this bolt of lightning, and then the searing pain, and then nothing. And that's what you caught out of there, but you passed your charisma save, so nothing bad happened to you. Just got this glimpse of this store owner's last moments, as it was.
This must be the female version of Roy from Rick and Morty.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm out of the shop, right? I'm out
Yeah.
the street now. Okay.
Yeah, Brizzo, you've gone and walked around the block, and you go to this building that you remember to be the inn. This is actually this building also is those spiral things, but this one's actually got 2 spirals, and then there is there's like they're connected together, so it's a much larger. The other ones, and it spans a good 60 foot high. But you know exactly where you're going. Do you want to go into the building? Like, you know that this was the inn that you were staying.
Take me to my room. I'm ready to see what's there.
This is
So
the way.
you walk into the inn, and it's, I mean, other than no one being in here, you do see a ghost off into the side that's looks very much like it was the innkeeper that you remember talking to. Yeah, it's a elderly elven man, to where his ears have started wrinkling and a little bit of sagging a little, and but he's just seems to be in the motion of like wiping a tabletop, and all the structure here, like nothing seems damaged. Like the tabletops are still perfectly fine.
There's no spider webs anywhere.
Not in here. It does not seem to be that you've
Thank
noticed.
God.
Okay,
but
I want to head. I want to continue to my room where I was.
Yeah, you go up the stairs, the spiral staircase to one of the floors there. You were on the 3rd floor, and you go over. Is anybody with her, or did she go by herself? I'm just asking.
I think anybody followed.
I can follow her.
Yeah, I can too. Yeah.
No,
Out of curiosity.
no one
Stand
said they did.
guard.
Okay.
Yeah,
and-
I was just kind of wondering.
So,
And you go into you go to your room, and you go to open the door, or not the door. It's just an archway. That's right. They don't use doors. And you walk into your room, and it's exactly as you left it. And you look around, and you see your what musical instrument do you use? What's your instrument of choice?
The dulcimer or the drum? Yeah, the drum. We'll do drum.
You see this.
Confuse the fuck out of these spiders with some reggae music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see your old set of drums here that you had forgotten for some. Like it now, the memory's coming back to you. It's like this was your magical drum set. You remember having it from way back when, or from whenever it was. It is a so yeah, it's a metal type of drum set. I'm actually going to say it's made out of mithril as well as most things here. It is, and you had brought it here and had worked on getting some magical abilities put into the drum or imbued with the drum. It had just gotten back to you like the day before, and you had not actually gotten a chance to use it yet when you had gone on your last performance and when you got struck by lightning. But yeah, now it's here.
All right, well, let's get snapping this snare. All right, ready? So do I have
your
any
drum-
other equipment around the room?
Nothing. I'll say that you have a couple of your old traveling like dresses or performance type things, but nothing magical, nothing like
Okay.
combat oriented. You could pick up a couple of your old dresses, a couple of your old outfits, perhaps some different accessories and stuff like that you would have had. I'd even say that there was probably some of your platinum pieces here. I'm going to say that you have a total of 5 platinum pieces that are still here. But your drum is a drum of thundering. It's something that I've concocted myself here. I'll tell you what the abilities are for it.
Okay.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a... Yeah, I'll just tell you. So basically, your drum of thundering has 10 charges a day. If you ever use all 10 charges, then the drum will explode. But it gets 10 charges a day, and every day, it can hold up to a total of 10 charges. Every day, it regains 1d6 plus 1 charge. Now, with the different charges, or using 4 charges, you can cast the spell Confusion with the drum. For using 4 charges, you can also cast the spell Lightning Bolt. For 3 charges, you can cast the spell Shatter. And for 2 charges, you can cast the spell Thunderwave.
For 2?
2 charges, yeah. So, Confusion, Lightning Bolt, Shatter, and Thunderwave are the 4 spells that it has on it. Confusion and Lightning Bolt each take 4 charges. Shatter is 3. Thunderwave is 2. It holds 10 charges, and it gets 1d6 plus 1 charges a day. Also, it gives you advantage on. Yeah, it also gives you advantage.
How neat is that?
Yeah, it gives you advantage on performance checks as well.
Okay.
And it must be attuned.
That's pretty dope.
Yep.
Good lord.
That's a bitchin' ass drum right there.
For real.
Gotta be a snare drum.
I did say let's slap the snare, right?
And you can, and I'll tell you what, you can go ahead since you can come up with the look of the drum yourself. You know, that's what it'll look like. The way I envision it is sort of like more of a metal drum than anything else.
The shit I put in chat. That's what I want.
A what?
The one she put in
Put a
chat like a
video.
couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can look like that. But this is up in your room, plus, you know, you're probably about another 5 dresses that you probably had and some other, you know, the 5 platinum pieces. But yeah, and then as you pick up the drum and you're looking at it, you basically see that walks into the room that you're standing in.
Okay.
You see the ghost of you walk right into the room, and it walks basically over to the wardrobe seems to reach in to like it's going to grab a dress. Its hand comes back out, and it turns and walks back over to like the mirror, like look at itself, and then it leaves again without saying anything to you.
Could I tell what dress she was grabbing for?
Give me a perception.
So, while she's doing that, just so you know, it is 10:55. We said
16.
we're wrapping
Yeah,
it
yeah,
at
we'll
11.
we'll be wrapping it up here in just a second. But yeah, so what was your perception?
16?
Okay. She was reaching for what would have been one of your popular performance dresses. It's a purple color that will sort of like match your hair. It's one of the ones that you remember, playing quite often. And then it was always a crowd favorite for whatever reasons you want to consider. But
Alright, I'm gonna put that shit on.
yeah.
There you
And, but yeah, and then as you're in the middle of changing and stuff like that, you see yourself walk over to the wardrobe, sort of reach exactly to where that dress was at. Go, look at the mirror again, and then go and leave the room. And then she seems to repeat this almost every, I'm gonna say, like 10 minutes.
Okay, maybe I want to go look in the mirror before I leave.
Ghost.
Hey, look.
So,
Mirrors, though.
just before we end, we know. So we finished off with what Cade had just seen. We had finished off with what Brizzo had just gotten. We finished off with what Bastet had done. I want to ask the three remaining people, Ferris, Geist, and Yik. What are you guys wanting to do? Where you're at in this city?
I'm
gonna go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be trying to make my way with the group, but also looking for medals.
Okay, to try to make your way with the group at this point would be pretty hard because.
Well, the group that I'm still with.
Okay.
Yes, it'd be me, Varys, and Bastard.
And what was guys doing again? I'm sorry.
I'm with y'all too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know if you'd followed Brizzo or if you'd waited with us.
Brizzo,
No, I
Cade,
just
and
want to
Bastet all went off on their own.
Yeah, I just climbed the roof. I didn't go that far.
Yeah, but I just rejoined, didn't
Thing.
Yeah, he came somewhere
Ran
out.
through
He came
some
coming out
asshole
of
in
the
a
thing, I
doorway
kept
that really
forgetting.
wanted you to buy some shit.
I just rejoined, right?
I'm like a
Good.
block over at the inn.
Yes.
I
So,
am just gonna like tuck myself the shadows and cast find back.
Okay. All right. So Yik, you said you're looking for metals. That is there a particular type of metal that you're looking for? Actually, what I will tell you, go ahead and give me a perception. Let's do it that way first.
Okay, and I've also commanded my Steel Defender, not that it matters, nat 20.
Okay. You're looking around, and while everybody else is off doing this, you notice that one is a shop. You've noticed some metals in one of the shops. Do you go investigate?
Yes.
Okay, you go look in here. This is and this is actually going to take you a little bit past the well, but far enough away to where the spiders aren't an issue or anything like that. They don't seem to bother you. So you're going off to the right-hand side a little past the well, about 3 buildings down. There's it's an open archway into this building. This is a bit of one of the shorter buildings, so probably about 30 foot tall. Walk in. This seems to be a place to where you just see sheets of mithril metal here, and also sheets of perhaps other types of metals. One that looks like a wood, one that looks like mithril. You don't see any steel. You don't see iron. It's just and it's sheets like panels of it, to where these sheets are at least 10 by 10 foot, and it almost seems like it's a place where they're making panelings of different types of metals. And these panelings are probably an inch thick or so, and they're about a 10 foot by 10 foot pieces.
Good lord.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't know. Do you want me to finish what I'm gonna do, or what I plan on doing?
Yeah, sure. Tell me.
Well, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna check to see if there's any ghosts that I see.
There's at least one.
Okay.
And
At this point, I'm not going to completely enter, right? Because I don't want to incur
Okay.
wrath of the ghost, but I want to mark this location to return to.
Okay, you're gonna draw like an X on it or something?
Well, like draw the map or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just mark it mentally.
Yeah.
Just gonna pee on it with the scent for the scent.
All right. And we'll be finishing up. I'm just gonna. All right, Ferris.
Yep. How long?
What?
How long does it take for us if we were to regroup? How long would it take us to get to the aqueduct where I saw these spiders, roughly?
You're still at the aqueduct. You haven't left that street. You're still there.
Yeah. So let's say
You're
everyone.
frozen by the fear of the spiders.
Let's say everyone now comes out and joins us, and we decide to walk our asses over towards those spiders. How long is it going to take? Less than 30 minutes?
It depends how soon people want to get to you. Like Brizzo's a whole street away. Yek has walked past the well and is a good 100 or so feet past you on the other side of the thing. Bastard went into a building off to your left, and then Cade just walked up an 80-foot building that was by
All right. Well, then,
so like you guys are all spread out to the wind point.
then I will continue to stand here and cast light as a beacon. Like, hey guys, whenever y'all want to come back, hang out with me. Fucking here. I don't know what else to do. So.
You could just like choose to stay in the inn that has yet to show me malicious intent by asking me to buy shit every 10 seconds. She just looks at a goddamn mirror. Like it's not been so spidery in here.
And last person I want to ask, Geist, what are you doing? I just want to know because I want. So I know what everybody else has done.
Myself in the shadows and cast. I just tucked myself in the shadows and was casting Find Familiar back.
Okay. Just casting a spell, you said? I didn't.
Come back to
Find
me.
Familiar to get my head
Oh,
back.
Baby, come back.
Gotcha. Because it takes an hour for that spell,
Takes
right?
an hour, yeah.
Okay.
You've been in that shadow a while.
Yeah, well,
Like-
everybody's
like I
spread
said
to the wind, so.
Like I said,
I just
with
went up a
Kate-
building to get some
I've
sight.
been here. My shit was here.
All right.
Like I said,
Still
Kate,
here.
there's not really any like true places for shadows, but I get what you're saying. You're trying to find a secluded place to. All right, so that's where we're going to stop. What
Yeah.
I am going to do is say that everybody will get 800 experience. Thank you guys all for playing. I don't necessarily know
How
when.
much did we get?
Big.
Bugs.
For the bug.
Yeah, it'll probably be after the holiday, right?
Bugs.
Then we get together again. You think?
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys finished
Yeah,
off
it was fun,
wonderful.
man.
You guys came
Yeah.
to
Thanks for
Elven.
DMing.
Yeah.
Yeah, always fun.
all right.
Good place, guys.
Well, glad you guys enjoyed it. Everybody have a great night.
Yeah, you
All
as
right.
well, man.
And happy gaming.
You as well,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Later.
Take care, guys.
Later.